We are live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Here, we got here. So it is Wednesday night, you guys. It is a Pontificators night. We are live. And boy, do we got a show for you. We're going to do some rapid fire topics. Todd's got some Mark Brooks info he's bringing to the table. We're going to get into the whole DC loses their cool Burbank digs. We're going to get into that and maybe speculate on what that means to DC Comics as a publishing company, and possibly the ripple effects of what that has to what the effects will be on the industry itself. And we are going to do Name That Tune with Pedro Ang.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Today
How are you guys? How you doing, Joe? We'll go around the board.
I'm doing great, man. I just released the Reaper Destroyer not Ashcan. You're saying Ashcan. It's the mailing list on Monday. Dropped that, so that's live now. So if anybody wants to sign up for that book, you can just go to Indiegogo, look up Reaper Destroyer. It's right there. That's been doing real good. It was actually trending as the #1 book for coming soon on Indiegogo yesterday. So
nice.
Everybody that's gone up and signed up for that, you guys have been badass. Thank you so much. It's been an awesome experience. So yeah, that's what's new with me, man. So I'm feeling good. I'm doing good.
Yeah, well, I'm doing better now that I got a brewski.
Yeah, dude, I'm all about the hard colas now. Budweiser sold me on the hard colas.
Hard seltzers?
I like the adult.
No, it's not seltzer. I don't like the seltzer. The hard sodas.
Is that like the Mike's hard
lemonade?
Is that what it's like?
It's probably about the same. I mean, it's the same alcohol percentages of beer, but it tastes like a Coke. It's awesome.
If you had not your father's root beer, because that's pretty same to that. Like it tastes just like root beer, but it's alcohol.
Yeah,
you guys.
I like beer, and I'll get drunk off. Well, I'll get drunk off anything if we're going into detail. But I've always been a huge soda fan, so alcoholic soda is like. It was good knowing you guys.
Yeah, I'm
you
all
guys
about it
remember
too.
when Zima came out?
I've got a Zima story.
What the hell is this? It's like beer for children. And then I remember I did this signing for at Golden Apple. It's the Hollywood
only me and Art know what a Zima is.
Mellow.
I remember Zima. I remember when Zima was.
Never heard of it.
Oh my God! You guys should look it up. It's like 7-Up beer. It's like a lemon lime beer.
I'm sure I probably had it at one point.
Yeah, we ended up going to a Zima party after the signing, and it was who was throwing it? It was Tony Danza, and of all people, and they had a big old ice sculpture of like a giant Z with a beer bottle, and it's like, what the hell is this? And so then my wife and I had one of these Zimas. And we're like, oh shit, this is disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mike's hard lemonade was actually okay, but Zima I think was just not good at all. Like that was right before I was able to
marketing push though. like everybody wanted to know what a Zima was. I remember sitting down at a bar and me and my buddy, early college days, 21, 22, and it's like, yeah, give us a Zima. We just wanted to know what it was. I don't think I've ever said anything gayer in my life than give me a Zima.
Well, you know what? It's weird because that was like the first time I saw like where it was an adult type beverage that they were trying to sell to children. Hey Pedro, you might want to turn that down.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
Pedro just was ready to rock.
Yeah, he can't be contained. And so there was the Zima thing, and you're like, oh, okay. And then these Starbucks years later start showing up, and then I'm like, what's the big push of Starbucks? And it's like, oh well, there's lattes, there's this, that, the other thing. So I finally had one. I was like, this is like chocolate milk. Like this isn't even coffee. What is this? So they turn like an adult beverage into like more like a kid-like beverage, with like pouring a bunch of sugar in it and then cream, and pretty much just diluting the fact that it's actually coffee.
The business model of Starbucks and their profit margins and their markup is just got to be just so insane. Like, I mean,
just no coffee at all in that coffee.
Yeah, and it's cheap as hell to make. Pay minimum wage to the employees. They got spots everywhere, and they're just basically selling water and sugar for like $15 a glass, and people are just lined up to buy it.
Yeah. I don't even think it's a great product, but if anybody out there loves their Starbucks, then more power to you. But
there's plenty of them, I'm sure.
I mean, I like Starbucks. Don't get me wrong. Like I like it. I'll just go as far as that.
Yeah, but
all the time.
Every
once in a while, it's like, what's going on, Jerry?
Jerry says Zima hit my freshman year in college, and it was a huge hit with the girls. Yep, exactly.
Yep,
Who didn't like beer? It was super sugary like soda. Yeah. I think it had some kind of like lemon lime. It was like a
it was like 7-Up or Sprite. Lemon lime.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I remember all the hype was like wine coolers for girls.
Wine coolers, yeah.
I remember. Well, when I was really young,
those days.
Like
not for me, but yeah.
Yeah, the girl drink was like peppermint schnapps.
Or
like Boone's Farm.
Boone's
strawberry wine.
Goldschlager.
You know how they call that Boone's here in Panama?
Oh, Goldschlager.
That wasn't for girls though.
They call it bajapante, which would mean like the panty lower. That's what they call Boone's down here.
We'll make
the panty dropper.
Drop.
Yeah,
tequila.
Tequila. If you saw two girls drinking at the bar and one was drinking a Zima and one was drinking tequila, veer towards the tequila.
Yeah. She's in play.
Yes.
She's in play. Well, Pedro, how you doing? Your guitar all tuned up? You ready for some names?
Yeah, we're ready.
Well, if you guys don't know, Pedro launched a Tropical Magics that we've been promoting for the last couple weeks with the pre-launch and everything. So he went live. Was it yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday on Shay's show. It was really nice. I was very nervous. Now I'm calm. I consumed a lot of beers, man.
I was just saying, you were pretty toasty.
Yeah.
You're pretty toasty.
So he was drunk on what? On whose show?
Well, he was on Flying Felines. Hangout show, and he was definitely in the mood. You could tell.
It was already
before he went on with Shay.
I behaved. I wasn't my best behavior, but then I went on Topicless, and dude.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, because I was on there for a second, but then I had to get off and go to bed.
Well, you know what, Pedro? Don't behave on our account. So we want to see Pedro, the worst of Pedro on this live stream. So
no, I ran out of beer. I have to buy some more beer. Like I was like 14 in.
Oh shit!
By the end of the night. So yeah.
Nice.
I would have been drunk, man. My tolerance is so far down since my band days.
Yeah. I'm still.
I used to be able to drink. Yeah. Not too much anymore.
Yeah, dude. I'm still a big dude.
I'll get drunk fast.
Yeah, I'm still a big dude. So like at 6'4", 220, like I can down them.
Oh, Pedro, are you 6'4"?
Yeah.
What,
dude? Oh, I'm so jealous.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, 5'11" and 3/4 is jealous.
I'm about 5'11". That's about where I'm sitting.
This is a normal cup. So it's small.
Holy shit.
You're a big dude. Nice.
Yeah.
You'd be a tight end.
No, that was a kid's guitar you were holding.
Yeah. No, down here in Panama, I'm a freaking engineer. Like from Aliens, it's just like everybody like to the elbow. But yeah, and I feel more normal in the States because there's more tall people there. But yeah.
No, okay.
Crazy Matt said, I've never questioned the manliness of this panel as much as I have tonight. Well, we're not saying that we drank Zima.
No,
dude, I bathed in Zima.
No, I knew of it because it was everywhere. I mean, you couldn't avoid it. Commercials all over the place and friggin'
we're not feel free to question our manliness. If you're worried about that, you've got bigger problems.
Yeah, we're not endorsing Zima or Boone's Farm. So Todd, what's up, man? Long time no see.
Todd is back.
Todd. It was there's a few people that when I lost my main, I contacted like Comic Book Bob and other people. Like I tweeted directly to you to this is my new account, whatever. And then nobody even heard, it was like crickets. So I was like, I don't know what to do. What I should have just done is contacted you through Facebook and said, hey, follow me here and get me back in. But
so you got bounced out of the green room? Is that what happened?
No, I lost my main account that I had since 2012.
Really?
And I didn't think of this until the other day when this whole Mark Brooks stuff started happening, that it may have been because they don't tell you, right? You lose it, you're suspended, but then they just point to the Twitter rules, and you're left to figure out which one did I break.
Yes.
And so I don't really, I don't get aggressive, that I don't really. My language is always is what it is. I don't, I'm not like an idiot out on Twitter, but it could either be two things that got me suspended. One, I did a charity NFT and I was tagging the charity into the post, but that may have been it. I don't know if that's a rule or not, but I mean, I was tagging, like World Wildlife Fund into the post. It wasn't them, because I've actually done NFTs for them and put my receipts up and everything. So it might have been this particular person that I tagged, because that's how I even knew about the charity, right? It was for Next for Autism. And so I wanted to do this NFT and I wanted to give 100% of whatever the NFT made to them. So it could have been that, or it was my interaction with Mark Brooks. Out on Twitter, I get a little saucy or a little aggressive, but in the DMs, I was always very gentlemanly and interacted with him. And I've interacted with him for years now. And there is something not right.
He's not wired. He's not
wired. Okay,
correct.
Todd. Well, let's check in with Clint first, and then we'll come back to you, and we can go into the Mark Brooks stuff. So, I gotta say hi to Clint first. So, what's up?
I am fine, and I'm fine with diving into the Mark Brooks stuff. Everything's good in Clint's world right now. So, I've been shipping. What I've been doing is I've been shipping Blue Bombshell comics for 3 weeks now.
Dang,
awesome! I sit in my little room,
busy man,
and I've got my boxes and my comics and all my Blue Bombshell backers. Their post when they get them. I'm super excited about that. It's been awesome. Blue Bombshell has gone terrific. Slave Girl's coming up. I'm actually going to be, I don't know if this is on the down low or not. I probably can say it. I'm drawing an alternate cover for Mandy's Gem Shock.
Oh, nice.
So I've got to bust some ass because Dale Keown is the main cover. I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah, one's looking hot.
I'm definitely comfortable being the backup cover, but that it's kind of cool. So
hey, Clint, is it going to be an adult cover?
No, it isn't.
Nope, not this time around. Okay,
no, not this time around.
Gotcha.
Maybe Mandy will do like a post Indiegogo where we can do kind of that stuff, but Mark Brooks isn't quite right.
I mean, there's a character there called Pearl Necklace, right?
Yeah.
On Mandy's
Good times.
Hey,
I'll leave it all to Mandy, but like I've got a feeling Gem Shock. Like everybody, if you haven't heard of Gem Shock yet, check out get on Mandy's signing list. Check out Mandy Summers. Get on her Twitter. You'll get on her sign up list for Gem Shock. But that Dale Keown cover looks freaking gorgeous, and I think this is going to be the next big CG book out there. So definitely check that out.
Oh, I was going to say, quick aside, like the dirtiest rock band name. So there's Steely Dan, and then there's Pearl Jam. So you guys have one that's equally disgusting.
Yeah. Well, that's the ZZ Top song, right?
Yeah.
Pearl necklace.
Yep. All right. Well, let's get into this Mark Brooks stuff. Apparently Mark Brooks ain't quite right. So Todd, Give us the lowdown, man. So you're hanging out with Mark Brooks on Twitter. Everything's going good, and then what?
Yeah, because I went and referenced like when was I suspended? Because I used to just I've been suspended before, and then you write and write a love letter and say, please bring me back, and it works. It's not a big deal, right? So I've been suspended a few times, and then this time they weren't letting me back, and so I was writing love letters on Twitter to Twitter support and love letters to them, like, please, we got to get back together, and da da da. So anyway, I referenced when I was suspended, and that's when he went after that Star Wars girl, Mark Brooks did. He did, and it was on Twitter, and it just wasn't called for, and so I called him out on it. I said, look.
Wait, let's back up. So was that when he was saying that because she said something about him being a tracer, and then he attacked her integrity about like not fulfilling a campaign or some like that. Is that
I missed this.
Oh yeah, I missed that part.
I saw that down. Yeah, they're calling him Crazy Brooks now. Yeah,
but he acts like they've gotten him on YouTube, right? And he acts like real gentlemanly and really nice and stuff like that. But dude, he acts like he's not being a tool on Twitter. He's really, really, that's passive aggressive, and I don't like people who lie.
Yeah,
You either own what you do, right? You own what you do, and you just say, hey, I'm having a little fun. Some days I get a little saucy, some days I don't, and I'd be fine. I'd be okay with that. But you're gonna act like a tool and then act like, no, you're the tool. I don't act that way, and it just like drives me nuts. It's like this weird, like you're having a fight with a psychiatrist kind of thing, and it's like, I don't know how to win this one.
Yeah,
he's saying I'm the Nazi, I'm not the Nazi, and you're like, but I'm not a Nazi.
It's SJW tactics. I am telling the truth until I'm not telling the truth, but you can't call me out on my lies. Because then it like undercuts my argument. And
so wait, I want to go back for a minute. So Mark Brooks called you, Todd, a Nazi, or just called CG?
No. But
just everybody in CG.
That. I've seen him do that whole tactic on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, with CG people.
It's like the easiest low-hanging fruit to do.
Yeah. And he does it on Twitter.
I just want justice for a minute. Anybody who calls somebody a Nazi, you lost the argument already. There's no way any of us are Nazis. You don't even know what a Nazi is. So you're calling people a Nazi. You don't know what a Nazi is. So already you lost. Like that's the least of what we are. Like
I'll make a very weird Nazi.
It's SJW 101 because they can't debate. They can't debate because their arguments always fall flat. They won't debate with you about what's true, because if they debate with you, they lose. So they just call names. They say you're a Nazi.
I hate that soapbox.
Right. I completely understand that, Clint. But it's like as soon as you say you're a Nazi in one of these situations, you've already lost as far as I'm concerned. Because you're not, because your Todd was saying you don't like people that lie or that aren't truthful. Well, as soon as you call somebody a Nazi, you're not being truthful. Like you're already showing that you have no integrity, because that's your go-to.
It's pathetic.
It's a tactic, and when I usually, unfortunately, my go-to thing is to walk away from things like that. When someone's just coming at you with these really harsh words, and they've lost what the point of what they want to argue with you about is, then I just go away, because it's really just one of those situations where you could easily get ganged up on. Now this is similar to why I'm even in CG, because I hate it. Funny, I just drew Spider-Gwen for the very first time like 2 or 3 days ago, but I hated Spider-Gwen, and I hated the whole argument about boobs, because it was to delineate a line of adult, like Wonder Woman's an adult and Don Troy is a teen, so it was a delineation line, and that's all it was. And so they would attack certain people for how they drew boobs, but of course they wouldn't attack like Adam Hughes, who's paid to draw those boobs.
Yeah.
Which, let's be
or
real.
Clint.
and so that argument, those two arguments, is why I ended up on CG, because I would fight to the death about those two things. Like Spider-Gwen is an abomination. That's a cool costume. I get it. That's a cool costume, but you could have put it on anybody. You know, it didn't have to be put on a character that was so important to who Spider-Man is that you've ruined it. Because there's two events in Spider-Man's lives that happen. They almost happen back to back that actually make him go, "Oh, I get it."
J. Michael Straczynski ruined Gwen.
Yeah, it was Ben and Gwen, and those two things are important. They're so important. It's like Krypton dying, and kryptonite is Superman's weakness, and those things are important. You do away with them, and you might as well do away with the character.
So they're milestones.
So the Gwen thing was an argument I would always like get in on. Like, no, I know this is a cereal box costume that was designed for Wheaties, and that's great, but she shouldn't be alive. You know, I don't care if she's a multiverse character, an Earth 17 character, whatever
that's
she
what
is.
I thought she was, but yeah,
So
to be honest with you, I have no idea on the whole Gwen Stacy or the Spider-Gwen thing. Like, I saw her pop up, never cared to look into her.
It started as an alternate cover, and then the people loved the design so much, she became a character, and then she had Gwen Pool. Then you were just making her a bigger abomination.
It's the same as like a Wolverine and Deadpool. It's like one of these characters that just blew up and they spun into a million different things.
Well, it's a character they knew they could make a family out of, just like the Bat family's got 1,000 members of the Bat family. Now Spider-Man's got like just so many different iterations of Spider-Man.
I, as a capitalist, won't shout that down because it's like, if a character's hot, run it till it's dead.
I mean, yeah,
Wolverine is still making money. If people are into Gwenpool, run it, and especially with alternate realities. What Straczynski did with Gwen Stacy is where I draw the line, and that was garbage. The whole Norman Green Goblin storyline, and I don't even know if you guys remember it, but that was just hot garbage for me.
Was that a clone storyline?
No, it was he went back and what is it where you rewrite history kind of by adding stuff that wasn't there in the first place?
Oh, so this is Spider-Man Unlimited. I mean,
revisionist history, basically.
Yeah, that word.
Wasn't there a storyline where he had Norman rape Gwen before she died?
I thought I heard something. There was something about
that. That was Straczynski.
I don't know if it was
Straczynski, there was something or however you say his last name. And that was hot garbage for me. It's like, man, that like it wasn't bad enough that the Green Goblin killed Gwen.
Well, let's let Todd finish your point with Mark Brooks.
Retcon.
So did we get off the rails there?
Mark Brooks,
crazy train,
is trending again because he's causing trouble again, and really to say anything. Look, when you're a pro, you don't say anything about other pros' work because you realize, hey, a style is a style. Now, there's things you could say about Mark without really like hitting him hard. Like, he never works cool to warm or warm to cool. Everybody's
his color scheme. His color scheme is terrible.
Yeah, everyone's always in a photo booth like they're being shot for GQ.
It's like, hey, look at my sunburn.
Or
it's kind of a one-trick pony in that aspect.
But he's done some really great sequentials, and even though, and if you can get out of that and never have to do that again and become a cover artist, more power to you. That's why I really don't say much. But I first noticed him on Marvel Age, and that was a kid's Spider-Man book, and he was killing it, absolutely killing it, and it was like
that was
a hybrid of Joe Madureira.
Yeah, he was more cartoony.
Yeah, definitely.
I knew him before he hit Marvel because I worked with him at Blue, whatever it was, when he was doing Atlas, and he was kind of a cartoony Joe Madureira. he actually got me work doing the 10th Muse, like I showed him my portfolio. And Darren Davis was running Blue World or Blue
Water.
Wave, whatever. Yeah, Blue Water, that's what it was. And so for a while, Mark Brooks was drawing Atlas, and I was drawing the 10th Muse. So I knew him. This was probably like 2005 or whatever. But like I knew him from like a couple conventions. That's all. Like this is, fast forward 20 years and complete douchebag. And you know what? Keep rocking that soul patch because eventually it's going to come back.
I tell you what.
Wait. Crazy man says, who the fuck is Mark?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, you're better off not knowing, man. You're in a better world not knowing who he is.
Dude, I honestly didn't really hear the dude until he started talking shit, and then someone showed his art, and I was like, oh, okay, I recognize that, but I really didn't know who the hell he was. For the most part,
listen, this will happen to anybody. You use markers every day of your life. This is going to happen to you.
Yeah,
because markers makes you crazy. The smell.
They're potent.
He thinks he's a lot bigger deal than he is. Like he thinks
he's a cover guy.
I noticed
that.
Like,
he thinks he's like a J. Scott Campbell, Adam Hughes level cover artist. You are not. You just aren't.
There's no storytelling to any of his covers. That's the difference between him and Adam Hughes. He can draw characters, iconic, good-looking characters, but he does not tell a story in any cover he's ever drawn.
He throws a bunch of characters on there, and he doesn't do it 1 billionth as well as George Perez does.
No, he does.
He's a one-trick pony, and that trick isn't very good.
But here's the thing: not going into his art, but just listening to him talk, and specifically EVS did that, EFAP, that interview he did with, I can't remember who it was, but that was the first time I actually got to hear him kind of like talk. And I'm listening to EVS listen to this thing. I'm just like, man, this dude is just dropping just lie after lie, just making shit up. I'm like, the dude is insane. He really is. Like, it's just like the way he thinks is crazy. And that's to me, that's
the condescending tone, like really threw me off worse than the lies. It's just like he was treating people like shit. Like, dude, you're a guy who draws. You're not a marquis. You're not a duke. You're like that your serfs did the crops this year, Your Highness. Like, dude, you're a guy who draws. Shut the fuck up. That was, to me, that was enervating. Like, I had to stop it. Like, I tapped out.
I can deal with someone that's got, if he wants to attack and has a legitimate opinion, but when you're just attacking, you're just dropping nonsensical statements about people. That's when I just tune out, because I'm like, all right, man, like, this is, you either have a mental issue or you're purposely trying to sow disinformation in narratives for a reaction. It's like he needs attention or something. That's I got the feeling like he's like searching for some kind of attention, to be relevant or something. That's kind of how I took it.
Somebody told me that he actually is bipolar. I don't know if that means anything, but also,
I mean, that could be.
And you're drinking, because on that show that Ethan was, he was televising from somebody else's live stream. They had it recorded. He said he was drinking gin and tonic. So, if you're on medication and you're drinking, it's probably going to mess with your head a little bit. So I don't know.
Or it's one hell of a good buzz. Or not
but the thing
I don't know. But
I never really copped to that, because we've all been around people that drink a lot, and we have friends that turn into beasts, when they drink and monsters and stuff. And so the thing is, usually on some level, that's part of their personality, right? The alcohol just enables it. They're really good at keeping it, at bay. So to me, when somebody like Mark Brooks, even if he's bipolar, or drunk out of his mind, I still don't think, I still think those things are in his head. You know what I mean? That's how he feels. Those are still actual thoughts that he's had, and he's just actually saying them out loud now, whether it's the alcohol or the drugs that's enabling him, or, helping him get it out. It's still there. So my thing is, we're drawing comic books. This isn't war. We're not writing War and Peace. This isn't like brain surgery. We're not sending a man to the moon. Like, this is just entertainment. This is just comic books. So this is why I don't like people like Mark Brooks, is because they diminished the fun of this fucking industry, this great industry that we all love, right? They diminished it, and they turned it into something that's angry and bitter, and people taking the shots. I've had editors like that. I've had other artists, and I always say the same thing. I say, listen, man, I don't get paid enough to deal with this crap. You know what I mean? Like the reason I do comic books is because I like the lifestyle. I like hanging out with other comic book artists. I like hanging out with people that, are entertained by what we do. But they're all positive. They're all like, having a good time. And to me, it's like it's a party, right? Like we're all very good artists. We could all make a living doing, illustration or storyboards or something else, and we can make a crap ton more money than we are right now doing comic books. But we do comic books because it's fun. That's my bottom line. I just think every day, like, I get to sit here, listen to YouTube, and draw my comics and hang out with people like yourselves every day. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
And then there's somebody like Mark Brooks is just like being angry. He said like people in Comicsgate are like the KKK.
Yeah.
I was like, that's where I was like, I just said it in that stream. I said,
yeah.
Well, it's funny because he's like, I'm not trying to draw a comparison, but then he goes into drawing a comparison.
Right.
Like, come on.
What that will make me the Black Wizard? I don't know, man. It makes no freaking sense, man.
Yeah, you're the Grand Wizard. I told him, I said, because I think Kelsey said, yeah, art. He goes, how would you even say that art is like KKK?
Mm-hmm.
That is quite a stretch. And he's like, he what does he have, like a jacket, or I forget what he said. He said some kind of clothing that would identify me as KKK. And I said, no, Kelsey, I don't have a jersey. Oh, I said a jersey, like the team member jersey. I said, I don't have a jersey, Kelsey, but I do have some nice white sheets.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he makes a couple of just really weird analogies or points where he was trying to make a point and he'd use an analogy, and I would just sit there listening to him. I'm like, that makes no sense. There was one where he was talking about the KKK. He said something like, if the KKK denounced being the KKK and started like a charity, he was like, would they stop being the KKK? He's like, no. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you denounce something and start doing something else and change your life, you're not that thing anymore. Like the analogy was horrible. I'm like, it didn't make any sense.
No redemption.
Yeah, and that's what Ethan went into. Basically, they're talking about like
he's
no redemption. So it's like,
is like what it comes down to. He's seriously mentally unstable.
I think that's what it is. Yeah. And not trying to be mean to the dude at all, but I think there's definitely something wrong. Maybe bipolar, like Art said. I mean, that one part where he said, "You can never hate me as much as I hate myself." I was just like, wow, like if that is really how you feel about yourself, like that's
dude.
To me, that's a little scary for him. Like I'm scared for him if that's his
anybody who says that they hate themselves. That is red flag warning 101.
That struck me really hard.
People that can hate themselves like that, they can hurt others in a heartbeat. Like
exactly.
It's like no harm, no foul. Like they don't
That's
care.
Scary.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
People like that, like, I don't have anything to lose. I already hate myself. So screw all of you. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, you don't need to. You can be disappointed in yourself.
Yeah.
Like after a night of binge drinking, you look yourself in the mirror, like, oh, you piece of shit.
I've let myself down a time or two. I'll be the first to admit it.
Yeah, exactly. But hate yourself. But that's completely different, man.
Yeah.
She didn't look 300 pounds last night.
Chuck Reardon, he basically just said it. He said he just wanted to say CG and KKK in the same sentence. Yeah, and it's basically what it is. He just and again, I think he's just doing this all for clout. That's all he's trying to do is like, look at me, I'm taking on CG.
virtue signaling,
virtue,
what?
White knighting, whatever it is, he's doing it all. It's for attention. That's what I think it is.
Yeah,
but the thing is, I just don't know who actually over at Marvel is like, yeah, way to go, Mark.
CB is slobbering his nub as much as he can.
Maybe he's trying to get in with DC. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
to be in the ring around the royalty or the playing the musical chairs. So
he might be looking for a new, some more gigs or something like that. So he's like, let's go virtue signal.
It's the purest example of everything CG is against and why CG got created. It's like
he made look his current work is outside of. I know he's doing Marvel covers, but they're retailer exclusive covers paid for by whoever. It might be Midtown Comics or whatever.
Yeah, like those.
Right.
He's not doing. He's not doing what you call it.
Exactly.
The work for Marvel.
And so this is probably a tactic. He's trying to get back in with somebody that's going to notice him taking on this righteous battle, kind of thing. Yeah. He's just doing it for clout. I guarantee he probably doesn't even give a shit because honestly, the stuff he says is a completely false narrative or something he's completely making up. So the arguments he had in that stream with those guys was just completely false. It was just stuff that was just like a head scratcher, and the things he would say about certain people in CG. Or the stuff he tried to convince people of, and just the entire time he's telling people, it's like you're smart guys, you can figure this out.
You're smart.
It's like all this.
You're not dumb.
You're not dumb. You're not. It's like I was
like, And he kept saying
that's a standard SJW thing. It's they contradict themselves constantly.
He kept on saying I need to go to Abu Dhabi.
This might be a bad time to make this announcement, but I just hired Mark Brooks to do a variant cover for Black and White.
Hooray!
and like I think this is what they never realized is, and why CG has become what it has become is it's just like the rest of the country. Like the liberal comic book creators that just became SJWs and like turned comics into crap. They just thought the hardcore fans would always stay there. And like they literally lost half their audience in about 5 to 6 years. And that audience is CG. It's political leaning in a certain way, and comics were never like one or the other. It was both, and they like divided it. They like said you have to be this, and they alienated half their audience almost overnight. And all those fans were looking for something, looking for good comics, looking for entertainment, and it was like they never thought they would leave, no matter how much crap they poured on them. And they were shocked when they found out like our sales numbers have gone through the toilet because we just lost half our audience because of this crap we're putting out.
Yeah, and that's just damage control after that, and trying to prove that they are right and everybody else is wrong.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And that's what they've been doing now for the last I don't know how many years, and eventually
everything's fine. The ship isn't sinking. Everything's fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ignore the water on your ankles. Ignore the water at your waist. The ship isn't sinking.
So wait, Todd brought up a good point. So Marvel isn't so much hiring him as Midtown Comics to do these variants.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. If that's the case, he's probably not getting paid as much as he would through like the big guys. And that's why I said before he's making noise because he's trying to get a gig. He's trying to have somebody pat him on the back and say, "Good job, man. Come do the cover for this. We're going to show you this kind of work."
This is what I said is these guys literally don't believe that like Malin and Shane Davis are making $250,000 a campaign. That's why they push that narrative that they're cycling money. They're laundering
recycling money as if any of us have the willpower to keep that kind of a friggin'
or the fun
going. What a shock that liberals don't understand basic economics.
I think it's just more that it's a complete lie because that's what you do with your quote unquote enemies. You just lie about them. Mm-hmm. That's the tactic you use. And you put it out there because once it's out there, somebody's going to believe it, and it's going to become a narrative, and then you can twist it into a truth. And you say a lie enough times, it becomes a truth.
Right, and the burden of proof is on that person that you're concocting the story of. the lie about. So, it's always harder to be on the defensive and try to prove yourself that you didn't say those things versus just make these accusations. It's what the extreme left does constantly, and then it puts your opponent on the defense, and it's hard to come back once you're kind of, on the defense. You're on the ropes. It's hard to come back. Let me answer this. Admiral Wackass says, where was this dude streaming and saying all this? Well, I think it was yesterday. Ethan played it, the whole thing, and had the two people that were live streaming, but I don't remember their actual.
I think it was Sketch 30 was the guy that was on there.
Yeah.
I think it was his channel. I think it's Sketch 30, I think is what it is. Like Sketch is spelled out.
340.
Oh, okay.
340.
340.
Yeah.
Okay.
340, Mark Brooks was on Sketch 340's channel.
He popped in there. Yeah, they were just talking about it. And this is a small channel. They got like 40 subscribers or something. It so happened. I think this guy said that he put out the stream on Twitter and by accident tagged Mark Brooks into it. So he saw it and then he came into the stream under a dummy name and started commenting, and eventually,
like his wife's name. It was like
and eventually, came out there was him, and they threw him the link, and he jumped on the show.
The worst thing Brooks could do for himself is go on a live stream because he's going to fall apart under any.
Oh, it was horrible. I thought he came out looking horrible. Like that's maybe other people thought that he did a dunk in the wind.
That's his channel.
Yeah, and Vic King. That's right.
Oh, you know what I'd love to see more than anything is Brooks talk to Ethan on a live stream.
He'll never do that.
He'll never do that.
That would be a dismemberment.
Yeah, that'd be a bloodbath.
But you're right. He probably came out of that that stream thinking, "Man, I nailed it."
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
As he poured himself another drink. Jackpot.
I deserve a gold star for that.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that'll earn them.
Well, we'll see how it plays out for him. I just think when your public face is what he's presenting, I think most people see through it and just go, that guy has no integrity. He's just a hollow, nothing, and I it just seems like a desperate play. You have to resort to these type of things to possibly look good to your publisher, to get in the club with your publisher or score points with whoever, you're trying to score points with. It's pathetic and it's sad.
The blatant jealousy is like doing cover, like all he's doing is covers.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can do the math and figure out what you're making a year. It's not that great. And like the blatant jealousy of seeing these big CG campaigns just slaughter and them not being able to wrap their brain around it, not being able to believe. And it's like, you did this. You alienated this much of Marvel and DC, the big two's audience, by pouring out this pure crap that the fan base couldn't take it anymore and are looking for fun, exciting adventure comics. And guess what? CG is delivering over and over and over again on this stuff. And that is why these campaigns are happening. That's why they're huge successes. And they can't wrap their heads around it because they're so tied up in their political ideology. I don't give a shit about politics. I want good comics. I want escapism. I want action. I want fun. If you look at my comics, I want chicks with big boobs. That's what fans are looking for. They don't give a shit who you voted for.
Yeah. It's like we were like I was on Jimmy's stream earlier, and I don't want to we were talking in the back with some people, and I don't want to mention who it was, but the subject came up about Tom Taylor. And just we were talking, it was like, Tom Taylor, the person I was talking to, was like, I used to like Tom Taylor. I used to like Tom Taylor. Tom was good. And then just in the last couple of years, he just turned into this unbelievably smug dick. And all for what? It's
the jobs. There's been plenty of comic book creators that see which way the wind is blowing and put their sail into the wind because it's going to be jobs.
Yep.
There's a lot of comic book creators that don't have any integrity. They just want the next gig. They want to pay their bills. They want to be a big star.
Unfortunately, that's the case. And Clint, kind of playing off what you had said earlier about the jealousy that they might have for like CG. What I see in CG is the old school interaction between the fan and the creators. It's almost like the convention kind of scene, because this is where the fan is respected and there's fun products going on, fun stuff. I had a brief conversation with Dale Keown the other day, and he had just said that he's like, I've never felt so much love in my life as I have being in CG.
And just what you just said
the
right
reaction
there.
and stuff.
I had a brief conversation with Dale Keown the other day. That's what
just
you do when you're in CG. That's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's like
that in
holy
itself
crap.
Right. So I mean, it's just I think you look at, for one, the success that especially big names have in CG. The loyalty that's over here, and it's not just blind loyalty like they try to throw out. Like the reason why there's loyalty between the customers or the backers and the creators is that the creators treat them with a hell of a lot of respect. They're on streams like this. You get to know them. You have kind of like a friendship connection because you know what their lives are like. They talk to you. You interact with them. That's something you can't get anywhere else but here. It's a very unique thing. And that's going to lead to sales, and it's going to lead to support.
It's a grassroots thing, man. It's
literally mentioned a letters page, and that's something I want to start. I did it in the second issue of Sea Dog and Codename Postman. It was so much fun putting that letters page together and making it look old school, like the old Marvel 70s and 80s letters
the
page.
Old bullpen, yeah.
Bullpen. That's something I want to do more in all the comics I do, because it's so fun to have the fans like post what they thought of your comic and like do the back and forth. And it's like you get a little sliver of what Stan was doing, and it's like I'm putting this together and I'm gonna make it look awesome, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
in '94 we had, with the original black and white, we did a letters column, and we advertised name the letters column. So the readers got to name the letters column. And I think the last issue, because the miniseries was 3 issues, so the last issue had the letters column in it, and it was a blast. And you know what? I still have those letters. I think when Taylor was still working at Hack Shack Studios here, and we were launching Black and White Volume 1, we were reading some of those letters live on the live stream. And
cool.
It's just cool. I still have those. They're like a treasure. Like the internet kind of comes and goes, but when you have a physical, like an actual letter, it's
and you get your letter printed.
you get your letter printed. So they are a lot of fun. The interaction is great. Like I've said this a million times, and I'll keep saying it. I've been doing comic books for almost 40 years now. I've never seen anything like this, like what we're doing right now, what CG is, and the interaction with the fan base and the backers. It's just absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you, I'm usually one of those guys, because I know, Clint, you brought up jealousy, and I'm usually one of those guys that's like, come on, really, jealousy? But you know what? Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's more than just the money. It's everybody that's in the chat right now. You know what I mean? It's like hanging out. It's finding like-minded people. It's like the greatest party in the world, and everybody's invited, right? And I remember when Dan Frega first came into CG, and we were talking on the phone, and we were just saying, it's freedom. This is freedom. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like I said, I usually don't go, oh yeah, they're just jealous. But I think they are jealous. You know what I mean? I actually do. Like, for the first time in my life, I'm like, they are actually jealous. But it's not just the money. It's everything. Because I've also said this early on, Marvel and DC will never be able to duplicate this business model, because we are all doing it free of, like, all of our time right now that we're giving to the Pontificators, we're just giving it away for free, right?
Yeah.
But there's like you're building a connection with the chat. You get to talk about your comic books a little bit. These type of things happen as well. But it's like it's a party. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's just hanging out. It's just having a good time. It's having a party. And we just happen to be making these comic books. We're very happy about it, very proud of them. You know what I mean? And so I think, like, that alone pisses them off, because they can't do it. Marvel can't do it. DC can't do it. And you know what? Like they were also saying, remember when Sean Gordon Murphy launched his book and everybody's like, it's going to do a million sales, whatever. And then what became very, very apparent is that he just doesn't have what we have with CG, right? He just doesn't have that kind of interaction. He doesn't have that kind of base audience. And so he still did very well. But he didn't do, whatever.
Anywhere near as
he didn't blow people away like the way they were like, oh, he's gonna.
Well, and I think that leads into like when you're talking about jealousy. I don't think it's honestly the money part. I think there's a little bit of that, but I think they just can't understand why people aren't doing that for them. You know, they're looking at that like they don't understand like they don't understand like this is where the pulse of the industry is. Yeah. They just can't understand. It's like when what's that idiot on CNN, Seltzer, was talking about Joe Rogan.
Brian Seltzer?
Yeah. Brian Seltzer, yeah. He's like, I don't understand why they're going to him and talking.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Well, look at us. Look at what we're doing. We're doing all this stuff there. Why aren't you looking at us? It's
we have this. We have suits.
Yeah, it's like
Joe Rogan is giving the audience what they want, and you are lying through your teeth every time you're on TV, and people can see it.
Yeah, but another element I think is that the fact that they say, look, guys, you're canceled. How dare you?
Oh yes,
be alive doing stuff. We canceled you.
Yeah,
they're offended.
It almost reminds me of that scene in RoboCop, right, where that dude recognized that RoboCop is Murphy, the cop that they killed, and he's just he's stunned, and he's like, we killed you. You're dead. Yeah. We killed you. Yeah. It kind of reminds it's like because CG was predicted to be dead from the very beginning. And it's over and over again, like, oh, CG's failing. They're dead. They can't get the books out. It's over. It's a dying movement. And it just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And all they can do is deny what it is.
It just baffles them. It's like just use another movie analogy. It's like when in The Crow when Top Dollar recognized who Eric Draven was. He's like, I know you, but you can't be you. We put you. Oh, there's no going back. There's no coming back.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's too. Like they're like they don't understand. Like we canceled you guys. You guys should be dead.
But my favorite thing too is where they and I think Mark Brooks used this as well, where they say, yeah, they're all washed up. The professionals that go over to CG, they didn't have a career. They didn't have that. Well, I can speak for myself. I was still at the top of my game. I was working on DC's top books. I left. They did not fire me. And Shane Davis did the same thing. Like he left.
Kenneth Rutherford did the same thing. He left. Dale
left. Ken was like super in demand. He was working for both Marvel and DC at the same time.
Yeah. So that doesn't even hold water. Those arguments. But I wanted to show this real quick. Somebody mentioned in the chat, and it was already on my radar. But let me share this. This is really cool. And since we're talking about CG and just kind of, saying how cool it is and everything, we got this the CG.org, which is cool. So this is the Comicsgate official site here. So all the books that are coming out through Image, all the creators are here. Let's look at the creators. I think they're all alphabetical order. So,
and these are all people that are putting out campaigns that have met their goal at least.
Yeah. So look at these names. Lepresti, Adam Friended. Post. We have Andy Smith. We have Antonio Bryce. God, RT Bear got in here somehow.
How the hell did that guy get in there?
Look at that.
But like just all kinds of great. What Cecil? What the hell? We got
how the hell did Cecil get in there?
Clayton Barton, Clint Stoker, man. Yeah, you talk
yeah.
about a class act, Clint Stoker. Look at Clint Helinski. Look at that.
I was annoyed that Clint Stoker was CG before I was, because now he's always the first Clint.
Yeah,
he's Clint number one. You have to be Clint number two.
Clint two.
I'm Clint number two.
Yeah, the revenge.
For good or bad, we got Critias here. We got Dan Fraga. Just look at the
Look at Plague over there.
Donald DeLay, you know, just a bunch of. We got
There's a
Drew
bunch
in
of
there.
dudes on this list, man. This is a serious list of dudes.
Here's
and
the thing,
chicks, and some hot chicks too.
The thing about this that I like though is there's a bunch of names on there that I'm not familiar with, that I don't have memorized. That means that it's not just the big time professionals.
Oh yeah,
who are building this thing. This is, like I said, this is something that literally came up from the grassroots, and it's just spreading. And people who never would have been able to do something are putting out some really good, stuff. You know,
like
there's
Chung Lee, yeah, exactly. There's Carl Stefan. Great stuff. I wish Carl would do more live stream, because I always liked listening to Carl Oro.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just like some of us on this panel, you know, I mean, there's no way that I could do anything.
I was just going to say that
CG related, you know, because this just gives me a platform and a place to be able to put out a book without having to, you know, really worry about anything. It's like, you know, it's crowdfunding. You get this group will support you. You know, it's one of the only ways that someone that has no name like me could actually put something out. So it's
the fact that you were empowered to do this thing.
Yeah,
and it still took all the time, to all the effort, all the work to put it together. But somebody actually went and said, "Okay, you know what? We're here. We're listening." You know.
I mean, without CG, I'll be modeling diapers in CGI. So.
I don't know.
You put me on full screen. This is the best feeling, Art.
Okay, I was actually going to click on your name and see what comes up, but all right. Wait.
This is the best feeling right here.
Oh, putting a book in the
Gemini
mailer.
Yes, sir.
Get that
That's
Gemini.
awesome.
Look at that.
That full of comics.
Oh yeah.
You're like,
Nice.
it's the folding pizza at the Domino's. How fast you can do it.
Yeah,
You're
hell
shipping
yeah.
out hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands.
Yeah, dude, man, the CG is keeping those guys in business alone.
I got 2 crates of them in my
yeah. Yep. It's like, I can buy them 600 at a time. Okay,
I guarantee you they love CG.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yeah. D Geek Arc that's actually an interesting idea for the CG the comicsgate.com. Dude, go there and I think they have a contact thing there. Send that idea to them. That's not a bad idea. People putting themselves out there for work.
Oh yeah, for future work. Yeah.
Illustrators, graphic designers, and all that stuff. Because we need graphic designers to make the logos. We need people to make the videos, to promote the stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I think when you click on the name, you get their campaign. You get their videos. Wow, that's cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Look at that, dude.
That book's gonna be dope as shit, by the way.
Yeah. He ran an insanely gorgeous campaign, man. I'm jealous of him.
We found him.
We found him first. He's ours.
We found him over on Jimmy's channel. We found him first.
But you guys go check out comicsgate.org. It's the official site. And if you just want to see a sheer amount of talent that we have and books, it's not little, you guys. You know, I still think like, there's just a handful of creators at CG. When you see that website and you look through all the names and you see all of the titles, it is staggering. Are we ending our 3rd year or starting our 4th? Where are we at now with CG?
I think this is the beginning of year 4.
So 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021.
Yep.
So 4 years. Going into 5.
Yep.
So I thought I was coming into this late, but I came into this pretty early on. So
I wish I would have been here in 2018. I showed up late 2019 when me and Mark put out Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch.
Yeah, and actually CG was around it's been around for about 5-6 years now.
Yeah,
but they didn't start doing the publishing and stuff until like the middle of year 2.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was probably stuff going on in 2017, I would think.
Yeah, the whole like move the needle campaign.
Yep.
And all
The
that.
move. Well, yeah. Well, that was Zach. Zach was it Zach? Captain Cummings and those guys.
Well, D Geek Art says I'm fairly certain Art and Joe Thunderbuns will vouch for my work. Well, here's your work right here.
Look at that.
Oh, there we
Good
go.
ink.
Nice.
That's good.
That's good ink.
Yeah. So
Inko.
we got the
Inko.
Hack Shack logo there.
Man,
So you can get one of these in the black and white campaign.
yeah.
So yeah, support D Geek Art. Get good people. All right. Well, let's since we're kind of into this whole promoting CG. Hey, Pedro.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
just dropped a new campaign the other day, did you not?
Yes,
I
sir,
heard you
I
got a
did.
little project going on there.
Yes, I did. I did launch a campaign yesterday on Chase channel, Tropical Magics. This is my first book. I'm officially a grown little boy. I'm not made out of wood. Yeah. So Tropical Magic is out, guys. So Cheech and Chong meet Mad Max in a world of magic and technology. 72 pages. They're already drawn. They're being lettered at the moment. So we're planning to have everything ready for after the 2 months of campaign. Like we'll be ready to print. And yeah, there's goodies. There's trading cards, and there's a variant cover by Mr. Arthur the Bear. So
Do you have the
get in
pencils?
there.
Do you have the pencils up here?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
you have
man.
to scroll down. It got wordy, the synopsis.
Got to lead with that, man.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't inked it yet, so I'm not officially part of the cover yet, but I have.
Yeah.
Oh, look at these character designs. This is great.
Oh yeah, like this is Dojakun's idea. So I'm including a source book as a supplemental thing. So you'll get like the whole.
Uh-oh.
No.
Like a who's who?
No.
He's froze. He wasn't ready.
Who's froze?
Pedro froze.
Pedro did.
Oh, Pedro. Well, I'll keep talking. Yeah, here's the character bios that Pedro was talking about. Here's the RT Bear. It's not RT Bear variant. It's Pedro and RT Bear. I'm going to ink Pedro on this. So
nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's the least I can do. Pedro did so much cool stuff for Black and White. He did the High Octane Adventures artwork, and he did a video promo for that book as well. It was all animated and stuff. So here's the stretch goals. So the link is in the description, you guys. So if you like what you see here, click that link and pick up one of these Tropical Magics books for you, for yourself. And I think what Pedro was saying is the book. Did he say it was already done or it's close to getting done?
I think
That's a letter.
Line work and lettering was happening right now, and line work was done. So this book is, far along in the process. This isn't something you're going to be waiting around for. I think Pedro's going to take care of everybody if you back this.
Take care of business. So why don't we watch that video, man?
Yeah, pass me. Play the trailer. Play the trailer, man.
Play it. But I mess with my sound, so I'm not sure if the sound is going to work. Has Pedro come back yet? Do I have to click him in?
Don't.
You probably have to click them in.
Yeah, I don't see any in the private chat, but
yeah, let me go and see if.
There's one on.
Oh no, he's not back yet.
No, he may have crashed hard.
Okay, well, I'll see if I can play the video. I just reworked my sound, so I'm not sure where.
That's lousy timing.
Yeah, right. He's like, all the times, right now.
Out of all the times, here we go. Wait. There we go. All right. So let me see. Boom. Do you hear monkey sounds?
Mm-mm.
There you go.
No, there's sounds there now.
There we go.
Too much.
That's awesome.
Good stuff, man. So yeah, this is Tropical Magics 1. No one expects them to succeed, starting with themselves. So I don't know who this RJ Carter is. I think sometimes if you're in certain countries, you got to get like somebody else to host the site. So that's probably who that RJ Carter is. But yeah, he just launched this yesterday. He's got 12 backers, 29 days left. The book looks great. And we're going to be promoting the hell out of it here on Pontificators. So like I said, you guys, click the link, go grab a book, and help get the word out, tweet out, share on your social media. Any help would be appreciated here. Just fantastic stuff, man. Pedro's a good guy. The book looks great. And we completely lost Pedro.
Pedro
back. Sleeping on a job, man.
All right. Does anybody else have a guitar? Because we got to do
everybody in the chat surprised Pedro because he's going to be super bummed that he got knocked out of the show. So surprise him by going and backing his book because that'll make him feel better. Because like like me as a creator, like if I was like getting a chance to like promote my thing and all of a sudden I got knocked out, I'd be yanking my hair out. So everybody give Pedro a big surprise and go back his book tonight. That'd be a huge bonus to him because I'm sure he wants to be on the show right now and trying to get the word out there because it's a lot of work doing this. And Pedro's, you just saw Pedro's page. He's putting a ton of work into this project. So help a brother out, CG United, and hopefully that'll help him feel a little bit better about getting knocked off the show right now.
It might help him pay for his internet.
Yes, that too.
He's probably running around right now. It's like, who kicked the wire out? Hey, there's some other projects we could talk about.
Well, I want to show this. I'm trying to find it now, but there's a page here that Pedro did. This is black and white.
Pedro did some kick-ass stuff for you, Art.
High Octane.
Yeah.
So this is the animated black and white book that Von Klaus wrote, and that Pedro is doing the pencils, inks, and colors. So look at this bad boy. Look at this.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Nice.
A great style. It's not the Tropical Magic style. I mean, this is a unique style unto the black and white High Octane book. So you guys, black and white is in demand right now. So the link is also in the description. So click on that link and back a book. We just turned over 98K.
Oh,
so
nice.
we're under 2,000
That
away
close.
from 100K. So
what are we doing when you hit 100K, Art?
We gotta do something, man.
Shots?
I forgot. Andy Smith said I should do something. I think it was
shots.
Let's everybody just get wasted on a stream and bring on. We can combine Pontificators and the Professionals and see who can get the drunk.
Oh my God! Get white girl drunk.
Get white girl
Just
drunk.
get white girl drunk.
So Clint, are you guys volunteered to like do a wasted stream?
Hey, I don't need an invitation, man.
Are you kidding?
I'm
dude?
down. I just need to know when so I can prepare. You know, I gotta be like somebody's gotta watch. I gotta tell my wife, you gotta watch the daughter. You know, day off the next day from work. You know,
Don't come to house, and if you do walk in, for God's sake, don't touch anything and don't get anything on your skin.
Don't get anything on your skin. What the hell does that mean?
That means some crazy shit's gonna go down.
It's the crazy shit. Okay, well let's just do it regardless. Let's just do it drunk.
Oh shit! Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll be there. Let me know.
Did you guys ever hear this story? Okay, so we just had done a professional show, and it was on Aaron Lepresti's channel, and I don't do it anymore, but I had a full. Well, it was about 2/3 of the way gone. So there's about a third of the bottle. It was a vodka bottle, and I pretty much killed it in that live stream, like a third of that bottle. And at first I was mixing it, with orange juice and whatever. And then with cranberry juice. And then I was just drinking it straight. And so I was feeling really, really good by the end of the stream. No one knew I was even that wasted. Right. So then Adam Friend is he's got his live stream going. So I'm like heckling him in the stream. And I think it was Adam Post was there too. And so somehow, they got me in there, and I was just being obnoxious as all hell. And so I was like, I don't know, I must have felt like it hit me like just a ton of bricks, man. I hit that wall. I didn't even, sometimes you're drunk, right? Like you kind of ease into it. This was not that at all.
It's like, oh shit, I'm drunk.
I freaking hit, and then I passed out. Like I hit that wall, and I was lucky because I hit that little orange X that says "leave."
Yeah, I got you out of there.
Just before I hit the ground, right? And I'm so lucky. My wife was coming home from all things church.
Oh, nice!
Oh, wow!
Nice.
Well, and I mean, has there been like on a Jack show or like one of Ethan's late night all night streams? Has anyone actually passed out on stream?
Oh yes,
I'm guessing. I'm guessing there
Cecil has, hasn't he?
Cecil has.
Yeah.
Cecil has. I think Kelsey has. I know Anna fell asleep in her chair.
She fell forward.
She just completely. She was out.
I can totally see that happening.
Well, I don't know if I'm going to get that wasted if we do a drinking stream, but I'll do my best.
Challenge accepted.
I don't know if I want to pass out on stream.
I've never.
I don't want to do some weird shit while I'm drunk.
I've never passed out in my life.
That's the best time to do weird shit, though.
There might be some nudity.
There could definitely be some nudity.
Toast to you guys. Toast to the chat.
I don't have anything here, but toast to you.
But we have to, if we're going to drink, we got to do milestones. That's one of the things we said on the King show. So
100K is
100K, man.
When we go, it's like fire. We have to hit a threshold. So we're going to have to, each one of the campaigns is going to have a threshold. We're going to have to hit that, and then we're going to do some serious drinking.
Well, you hit 100K, man. That's cause right there.
That is cause, man. That's monumental. And thank you guys so much for supporting Black and White. Tropical Magics. Pirate Queen 2 is still in demand. And Joe, you got a book that you're going to be dropping on us soon, right?
Yeah. So I just launched the mailing list for Reaper Destroyer on Monday, and I also made the announcement that Kyle Ritter's coming on to do the colors of the book.
Yep.
So
sweet.
Yeah,
dude.
like that's. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. So I mean, okay, so the dream team I've got together, and I never thought I'd work with these guys in my entire life. Is so I'm doing the pencils on the book. I've got legendary inkers Joe Weems and Matt Batman from Top Cow fame inking the book, and then Kyle Ritter's going to come on and make it look fucking gorgeous. So Reaper Destroyer.
Dude, at some point, man, we gotta get Bat and Weems on here.
I've thought about it. Because they're not
like Tom Orzechowski, like letter it is like the top notch.
I actually thought about that. I actually thought about reaching out to him because he actually was going to letter a friend of mine's book back in the day for an independent something. But I ended up going with Eric Weathers because it's Eric. So,
Eric's
But I did think about hitting him up and seeing if I could get him because that would have been cool too. But yeah, I mean it's a dream come true. It's a dream team that I'm working with. What's going on, Pedro? I don't know if you got the link to that.
If you drop it in the chat, I can drop it in there, man.
It's in the private chat. I don't know if you wanted to bring it up real quick and show the mailing list off real quick.
Yep. Dude, can you imagine?
Do you have it there? Do you have it, Joe?
Hey, Ethan.
Yeah. Hey, it's Ethan.
Ethan.
Go good.
No, so Kyle and I were talking. I was like, only if you got the time, man. I was like, I do not want Ethan pissed off at me. That's the last thing I want.
I think it's too late.
Yeah,
he's like,
I did not emphasize more. I did not want Ethan pissed off at me.
Ethan doesn't like other people playing with his toys.
I was like, no. Well, the one thing that I'll say about this project is one thing is laid back. So like Kyle's got all year long to do all the stuff he needs to do for Ethan and for himself for everything he's doing. I'm not going to need him until like tail end of the year. So that was one of the reasons we kind of got into it. But yeah, I dropped you the link if you want to bring it up. It's in the private chat.
Well, somebody posted it. Is this it right here?
Yeah, I didn't know if you want to bring it up on screen real quick.
Oh, okay.
If you want to go to the sign up page.
I can't believe, Joe, that you don't have like a song, like lyrics and like some like metal for. I mean, I heard somewhere, I don't remember where it was, but I thought you were in a band.
I was in a bit, and the actual trailer for the thing might have some of my old band's music. We'll see.
Oh,
the Canuck just said Kyle just got fired. No. Nobody's letting Kyle go ever.
Yeah. Ethan might have him abducted and then like chained in his basement, but he's not gonna fire him.
Yeah, it's not gonna fire him. Maybe lashes, maybe some capital punishment, but never fired.
Yeah, no.
So Joe, the spotlight's on you now. So is this is Reaper Destroyer here? Is there a video?
This is just a teaser trailer I've got up right now, which is not too much, but it was something I could throw up there for anybody that was interested in it. Just showing that it's coming out in May 14th in Bancroft.
Do you promote the fact that Kyle Ritter is going to be coloring the book?
Yeah, I mentioned it. I mentioned it on Monday. Yep. I put it out there. I had to make sure Kyle had to give me the okay at first, and then I did it. So.
I think the whole video should just be focusing on Kyle Ritter.
Well, he hasn't actually done any work for it yet because I had a colorist. I had to get rid of him for reasons, which I'm not going to go into. But that it just kind of opened up the way to bring a way better colorist on the book anyway. So yeah, so this is Reaper Destroyer. This is my book. This is it's a dark superhero book, kind of in the style of the 90s, in the vein of the 90s. It's not a 90s ripoff by any means, but it's all my influences. I mean, I grew up being a fan of the Image guys, and it's just kind of my influences on art. And, I get to work with some of my favorite inkers growing up. These guys worked with all the big names, Silvestri, Keown, Finch, Turner, all those guys. And I get to have them actually ink over my pencils. It's a crazy, crazy honor to be even working with guys in that kind of talent group. But
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, these are black and white pages, soon to be colored. Well, at some point to be colored by Kyle. It's going to happen, And when we do, it probably won't be dropping any kind of colored pages until the actual campaign launches in May. But
yeah, this looks fantastic, Joe. This looks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I get the kind of like Spawn crossed with Divine Right kind of vibes from that,
Mm-hmm.
You got you got that dark core, and then you got like the demon thing and whatnot. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's like it's all my influences from the 90s, TV, all that kind of stuff. Like I was a big fan of Turtles. We got ninjas in it. I was a big fan of Highlander. We got Immortals in it. The Guyver was a big influence on me back in the day. So
Guyver.
Yeah, you got that aspect of people turning into monsters and like all this kind of stuff. And I've got a very biblical sense. I'm a Christian, so I've got this kind of long-reaching history with. I don't know if you want to call it Christian conspiracies, but there's like theories and stuff of certain things, like I've got all woven into this big story that goes throughout the book. So I'm really excited to get it out to everybody and have people read it and immerse themselves in this deep history, this big world that I'm creating.
When are you going to launch the campaign?
May 14th. May 14th.
And what do they get for the pre-launch, the sign up, if they sign up now?
Oh, so I mean, if you sign up now, you get access to the secret tier, which I'll let everybody know what that is closer to the time it's going to be. But I will say that I was just talking with Art, and Art kind of convinced me to do this. So I got a Shelby Robertson drew and colored a trading card for me. So the first 100 baggers are going to get this card. And I might do it in a metal card. I don't know yet, but he did a fucking fantastic. Oh yeah, Shelby Robertson is the man.
Yeah,
you do like a metal or a foil card with that.
Dude,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Too. Variant cover too.
That's dope.
You got to use that as a variant cover.
I'll probably use it for more than one thing. I would, like right now it was originally so I put out the ash can, and this was a black and white pinup that he had just sent me because we've been talking, and him and I worked on a few things together, and he sent me this as like a fan art one day just as a surprise, and then he was like, "Dude, you can use it if you want," and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna use it." So I put it in the ash can, and then I asked him like, "Dude, can you throw some colors on it? Obviously, I'll compensate you for it." And I was like, I'd love to use it for something with the campaign, whether it's a card or a pinup or something like that.
Both.
Or whatever, so I'm definitely going to use this for multiple things probably, but the first 100 backers will definitely get that card, and might be foil or metal or something. I'll make it look special because it's a fantastic piece that he did.
Do you remember the highlight of the craziness in the 90s when it was like, it wasn't just good enough to have it foil, wasn't just good enough to have it reflected, it had to be like metal embossed, and it was like all this, it was like of these things combined, man. It was like insanity.
One thing, and then I'll move the show along because I don't want this to be stuck on talking about myself.
No, this is what we're here for.
Go right ahead, man.
One thing that really inspired me about CG and everything was the first time I read Cyberfrog Blood Honey, and it came in that chromium cover, and I was just like, man, this is like everything I love because it's like the 90s flavor, and I grew up in the 90s, and my favorite decade for comic books is the biggest, it was the biggest influence of me on my life. And that's what I'm trying to put in my campaigns as well, or in my books. Like I want to have that feel, that flavor. I want people that are missing that aspect to have that when they read my books or get my cards or whatever. So that's why the ash can that I put out was a foil ash can.
Awesome.
And, a lot of people
these are events.
Like
these
that.
are event books. These aren't just like monthly floppies. These are event books. So not just blood, sweat, and tears in the art and constructing the book itself, but in the production as well. These aren't cheap books like black and white, and that's what's great about doing the stretch goals, is because it started off as just kind of a staple type of cover, just a normal like kind of floppy kind of look, and then we got more stretch goals funded, and so we got the hardbound cardboard
square bound
graphic novel, square bound, and then we got it all the way up to where we're going to do what is it called now, the UV coating on the cover. And so and it's not just the main book, but on Pedro's high octane book as well, it's going to have an upgraded cover. So this is great stuff, because then you get to do it. You get to build this comic book and the production and everything, with the backers. And so we also added 4 pages onto black and white. That's an epilogue. So these things are organic. We're building these things as the campaigns are funding and things like that. So it is truly amazing. So the Reaper Destroyer is going to be fantastic. So Clint, what do you have? You have
I just popped up Slave Girl there.
Slave Girl.
Yep, a little bit of Slave Girl action. Who doesn't enjoy having a nice slave girl around there?
Oh yeah.
But yep. Am I in control of this?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I am in control of it. So
nobody is in control of the slave girl.
I know.
You got the power.
So this is going to be the middle of April. Probably about April 15th is when I'm launching. This is the sign up page for the mailing list, and if you haven't signed up already, you want to, because sign up is free. But when you sign up, it gets you all the extras. It's going to get you a secret discount tier. So all the good stuff, you're going to get it a little cheaper than everybody else, which is always a good thing. And Slave Girl is set in the same universe as Pirate Queen.
Nice.
But Slave Girl's finds herself in a little bit different set of circumstances. She drew low on the totem pole, so she is actually a slave girl and just trying to get through the world with her top on. And
she's having a hard time.
Yep. Spoiler warning: she fails.
I was just gonna say, hopefully she fails.
Hey, Clint, is that your tagline for Slave Girl? She's just trying to get through life with her top on.
Yep, exactly. that seems like a pretty good tagline.
Clint, I need to thank you, Clint.
Yes,
this has been one of the funnest weeks.
Oh, and wait till you see everybody sees what Pedro is doing when we launch. We're gonna have a trailer, and Pedro has been doing animation.
Yeah,
and I have been blown away by everything I've seen. I can't wait to put this trailer together and out there for everybody to check out. But it is.
I've been really impressed lately by all the animated kind of trailers. Like it's really impressive that you guys can do that kind of stuff.
Hey Pedro, can you find that black and white animated trailer that you put together?
Of course. Let me just.
Sweet. Yeah, you guys. So go and do the pre-launch thing for Slave Girl from Planet X. It's Clint's follow-up to the Pirate Queen 2. Mm-hmm. So it looks fantastic, man. When are you thinking of launching that, Clint?
It is going to be probably mid-April, probably about April 15th, right in there.
Is this it, Pedro? You got it here?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, here we go.
I love that twirl.
Yeah.
Oh, good, Pedro. Hey, did we lose somebody? We lost Bob.
No. We lost Bob, yeah.
Yep.
Where'd Bob go?
SDA just got back from the dog park.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But yeah. That thing looks fantastic. That's high octane. That's the black and white animated adventures. Let me share my own campaign for a minute here.
Hell yeah.
Do a little promotion, little black and white promotion. Yes,
98.
This is for this season. Yeah. Black and White Volume 2, Man versus Machine. In a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be ... black and white. We are at 98,133. So what is that? Like 1,800, about 1,800 worth, 1,800 or so. And we'll be at 100K. That'll be fantastic. Let's hit this. See what this video is all about.
Party when we get that 100K.
Yeah, we might get drunk.
Oh yeah.
The exciting conclusion to the Black and White origin saga. 60 pages of pulse-pounding action.
It's actually 68 pages now.
Nice.
Where law and order are often blurred to gray. Justice can only be black and white.
Who did the voice for that?
I think it's Red Gaze. He did the whole video, so
Okay.
it's probably his voice being modulated, I think. So here is the first cover here. So they're back badder than ever. This will be, like the video said, the epic conclusion to the origin saga. So we're gonna see if these two crazy kids can make it, if they can get along, if they can at least get along long enough to take down the baddie. That is going to be very, very questionable. We're going to have to see how that goes. And so, yeah, it went from 60 to 64 pages. And now with the epilogue, it's 68 pages of story. We got the Kenneth Rocafort variant cover for volume 2. We got the Joe Bennett variant cover with Kyle Ritter. I'm sorry, Ethan, but Kyle volunteered for this one. So yeah, when he heard that that Joe Bennett was going to do black and white cover, fresh off of being canceled by Marvel, he jumped all over this. So it came out fantastic. And here is Pedro Ang's black and white high octane with Von Klaus doing the writing. It's just going to be kind of like more like a old 22-page one and done floppy comic book. So the price point is a little lower than the normal, and it's a one and done. So there's you should be able to get everything you need here as far as a complete story. And when I say complete story, there is there's that and then some. I cannot believe that Von Klaus got as much content in this story as he did. Also, like Pedro's getting a lot of splash pages in this too, so it's not a bunch of condensed like small panels. Like this story, opens up. So Von did a great job with the story. So then, we got another Kyle Ritter colored cover. Yikes! Sorry again, but yeah, yeesh. What are you doing? Yeah, a good thing, it gets around. So yeah, this is the new cover for issue 1. This is the second printing, so we completely sold out of volume 1, the original printing. So we're going back to press, and this is the new cover done by myself and Kyle Ritter. And so then we got the Greg Capullo variants. The one on the left is completely sold out, but we have a few of these photos. The one on the right-hand side, we have a few of those left. We have the story page layout. Right now, it's the only original artwork you can get on the campaign. So these are penciled and inked, and yes, they are this tight. So all 64 pages of the book are done on this, to this level, to this degree. So we got the original head sketch. I think there's one left. And then you guys come check out all the stretch goals. Teased a couple of those as far as the upgrade, the paper stock, the cover upgrades, and the UV coating. So that is going to be a fantastic looking book. And you guys don't forget, we got the cool T-shirts. We got the wraparound T-shirt that was done by Red Valkyrie, Shay. And then we have the cool Inko tee, which is done by D Geek Art. So thank you guys so much. This week has been fantastic as far as getting backers and putting up some good numbers. So thank you guys so much. You're definitely making this dream come true, and I do appreciate it. I'm going to share one more thing. I forgot. You guys don't mind, do you?
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
So this is the newest page right here.
Ooh.
So
yeah, it's looking tight.
Yeah, this is high
nice
high
butt.
detail.
That was the first thing I noticed too, honestly, when I looked at this page.
Is what?
Everything is leading you there.
Yeah. I noticed the ass right off the bat. Like, oh, all right, it's not that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's creating like a funnel to there.
That's how you create focus in a drawing.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but maybe I've been looking at a lot of those Pirate Queen books and inspired.
Hey, let's
I can do to help.
Bob's back.
Dive into White's butt.
No diving in butts. We don't do no butt diving here. Yeah, so
some people are into that.
Some people.
Some people call me a space cowboy.
Some people call me a butt diver.
Yeah, butt diver. Hey, let's Bob that back in. Yeah.
I love tangents.
Do it in the butt.
Welcome back.
Perfect timing, Bob.
Yeah. Talking about that ass.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to bounce here in probably about 5 minutes to get ready for Ott and stuff, but
should we do
as always? Say hi to Ott.
Yeah. Like, can we play a few songs?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I might miss out on it if you guys don't do it soon. So yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so today it's a new wave of British heavy metal. As always, we let the chat guess first, and if they fail, then it's the panel.
Right.
So the first one, this should be easy.
Ooh, this looks like a stumper. British.
It's got to be Iron Maiden, but I don't recognize the song.
That's what I was just gonna say. Like SDA saying ACDC.
I don't think it's AC/DC.
No, British.
I know I've heard it. Like I feel like I've heard it.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna give
the
chat. Let's give the chat a couple. We got some nice. I think they're digging your guitar playing, Pedro.
Yeah,
they're not getting the
band. Getting the song. My mom's not here.
What year? What decade are we talking about?
That's early 80s.
Early 80s.
Okay.
Well, but the invasion,
British metal.
British early
the invasion
80s
started
metal.
in late 70s, right?
It was
shit. Then I've got. I mean, I don't know what the song is, but like, I'm not going to say anything. Let the chat figure out what's going on. I would have an idea with that era of who it would probably be. Yeah.
An excellent guess.
Excellent guess. Very close. Very close.
Not even close.
Wow. You did mention the band. You did mention the name of the band.
The band was
Maiden.
Oh, okay.
It is Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Yes. It's Maiden.
Number the Beast?
I was going to say it was either that or Black Sabbath, but
no, it's Maiden. It's not Number of the Beast.
Oh, is it? No, it's not.
I'm not.
It's not early. It's not early Maiden, right? This is later.
Oh, Judas Priest.
No, it's not. It's Paul Diano was still in.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Late 80s.
So this is like the EP. This is like the because I got that as an import actually. The first album. Shit. What is that song? I know it. Damn it,
dude.
Okay, give us one clue about the lyric.
It has to do. Well, dude, the thing is, like, I'm gonna give it away.
It's not Rothschild, is it?
No, it's not Rothschild. It's based on a play.
It's based on a play.
Yeah.
Macbeth?
Rhyme of the Mariner?
No.
Rhyme of the Ancient? No.
Rhymes of that's based on the poem. That's based on a play, and
is it? It's not Phantom, is it?
Yes.
Is it? Oh
yes.
shit!
Phantom
of the Opera.
There you go. Bob got it.
Oh my god, dude! That was like total luck, dude. Because when you said play, I'm trying to think of all the other songs. I'm like,
well, actually, we got
that's like early 80s.
We got to split that point because I had Iron Maiden.
I can do one more. All
right, hit us, Pedro.
Half point Art, half point Bob.
Oh, yeah, no, right off the bat.
All right, chat, get in there.
We almost covered this song in my old band.
All right, chat.
Yeah, I see.
Oliver says Judas Priest.
Okay.
So is Oliver close?
Yes. Yeah, Oliver is on point. Name of the song. No, it's not rat. It's not rat. Rat witches they play.
Round
Like
and round.
Ding, 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 ding. That song is badass. So I'm gonna give it one more second for the chat,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna go with Joe. So Joe can go out with Blaze of Glory.
Wasn't that song? Yeah, I'm hoping I'm thinking of the right song name.
Yeah.
I'm so confident in what it is.
we have a winner.
Oh yes, I was gonna do the song. I was going. This.
I was just gonna do the same thing.
Yeah,
Okay, now imagine us doing this drunk.
oh yeah, this would be awesome, man.
Yeah, my old band, we almost did a cover of that song because we loved it so much.
Wait a minute, Joe.
I was
You
working on like the high, vocals and shit for that.
You had a drummer badass enough to play that song. That is killer, man.
Yeah, well, remind me of something, Art. I've got a drum solo from one of my old drummers. I want to show you one of these days. I got to rip it off of a DVD, but I think you'd really dig it. It's fucking badass.
Mm.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I came in. Well, I was actually out of the music scene before that crazy ass double bass stuff started kicking in, man. But I'll tell you, Painkiller. When I heard that, I was like, "It's done. I'm out."
Hey, Joe, there's two
retired.
more songs to go. 2 more songs to go. So I don't know if you want to do them or.
Yeah, I gotta get rolling. I got some guests already in my chat. So, all right, guys, thanks so much. I'll talk to y'all later.
Hey,
See you, Joe. Take
Joe.
care.
Take care, Joe.
Have a good one.
Check out the stream after you're done here, guys.
Yeah. So okay, the next one is from 81 or 82, and
Clint will get this one.
yeah, you might recognize
The
this
British
riff.
stuff I'm not as strong with.
No. Okay.
Well, it
Is
could
it-
only be. Let me narrow it in. Okay, it could either be Iron Maiden, Sabbath,
Mm-hmm.
Judas Priest. Who are the other like really metal gods of the British invasion?
Oh,
Was
Silent-
Def Leppard early 80s or were they not?
yeah,
Wait,
Def
Yeah.
Leppard counts. Yeah. There's Tigers of Pentang. There's this band.
Oh my gosh, that riff sounds familiar.
And the verses.
It's Black Sabbath, right? You said it was Sabbath, right?
Def Leppard isn't.
No.
Oh,
That's
shit.
true.
Yeah.
No, okay, we're gonna give the chat,
chat.
another minute. Can you give a clue, Pedro?
Okay. The singer was very weird looking, and the band's from Germany. The band's from Germany.
Oh, is it? Well, I'm gonna wait.
Okay, no idea. Oliver is blanking. Wrong country.
Wrong
They
country.
They counted. They counted with the invasion. I mean, it's
Okay.
all British heavy metal, but
It's not Rammstein. Who?
No,
it's not
Rammstein is way
No.
later.
Rammstein's way later.
God, it sounds so familiar.
yeah.
Okay,
Dude.
Give another clue.
the only German band that I can remember really
Mhm.
truly is
No,
Scorpions.
it's not Halloween. Close, but it's not Scorpions.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
There's another thing very. Nothing?
dang it.
Wow.
Is
Dude,
that
I'm-
that's not the same song, right?
Yeah, it's the same song. Yeah, it's the outro of the
Okay,
song.
it's melodic now. So
Yeah.
Scorpions is melodic. UFO is melodic.
It's not UFO either. It's not the UFO
Is-
either.
is was goddamn. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if they were German. Warlock?
No, it's not Warlock.
Okay.
Awesome band though. But
God damn
no.
it! I just I got nothing, man.
It's balls to the wall, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
God, I
balls
knew
to
that.
the wall by Accept.
Oh, by
You got your balls to the
Balls to
wall.
Who was the band?
Accept.
Except
that is like an obscure that.
Wow, dude. Yeah.
That is not a well-known thing.
No, sorry about that.
Pedro was going
It's
deep.
fine. It's just that was hard.
All right,
That was-
Pedro, go with something that you think that Todd would get.
That was difficult level 90.
Yeah. Okay. sorry about that.
Points to Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. The
This
last
will be
one's
the
gonna
last
be.
one. This will be
Yeah,
the
the
last
last
one.
one's gonna be very, very easy. I think. I don't know.
I wanted an easy one. I haven't known anything yet.
Yeah. So.
Well, if it's not Nelson, Clint doesn't get it.
Yeah. I know. No, I think this is very, very, very close.
Low blow, Art. Low blow.
to what
After the rain.
There you go.
True, Gregory. That was ACDC LARPing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's keep track. Oh no.
Clint's got this.
Apparently they're not metal. Whatever.
Yeah, if you don't get this, man, something's wrong.
This is
All right,
different.
Chad. Come on, Chad.
Come on, Chad. Come on,
Check
Chad. Duh.
You know what? They're not even going to participate. They're just
There you go. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
There you
Gregory wins.
Wait a minute.
Ah, Winger.
Screw you, Danky Frankie.
Yeah, my hand will fall off if I play Winger.
If it was Winger, yeah, Clint would have been all over that one as well.
Pedro would have had to have burned his freaking guitar if he played.
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
All right.
You
Well,
guys so judgmental.
yeah, thank you so much, Pedro. That's a lot of fun, man.
Awesome, dude.
Hell yeah.
Okay, next Pontificators, we're going to the 90s. All right, so we're getting more modern now. We're gonna stop with the boomer radio because I was accused of that last time.
Well, I mean, look at the panel, man.
Yeah,
How dare you?
Well, you know.
That
You know
hurts
what?
my
I
poor
found this
Bob.
out, and anybody into music, and actually this kind of parallels with the comic books too. Is you know how they're like everybody's 90s, you guys are doing the 90s thing, the 90s thing. Well, you know what? That's what's selling. And I heard this guy on YouTube. His name's Rick Beato. He teaches on the internet. It's good stuff. And he was saying that 70% of what is being played on everything across the board, YouTube, internet, everything, is our old libraries. It's mostly 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yep.
Maybe
There's no
early
new good
2000s.
stuff.
Yeah, so you know how like when Neil Young was saying I'm going to pull my catalog from Spotify or whatever.
Nobody gave a
all
shit.
that shit. Yeah, but no one gave a shit. But I started thinking like those catalogs are actually more viable and worth more money than most new bands and new performers.
Well, you've seen some of the guys that have sold their catalogs now, like big, like freaking music legends have sold their catalogs because that's what people keep replaying.
Yeah, that's all that's getting airplay right now. Like new bands, new material. It just
there aren't new bands.
Well, it comes and it comes and it disappears.
Well, most of the new rock.
Actually, what I've been hearing is rock is coming back.
Rock is coming. Like, you get bands like what was it? Volbeat.
Oh,
yeah,
they're doing like old school stuff. But
Volbeat isn't even a new band, and they're doing retro stuff.
Yeah.
Volbeat's from like 10 years ago, and they're doing stuff from the 90s. I enjoy it, but it's super retro.
Yeah, if Volbeat is new, then the Mars Volta is new too. And those guys are like grandfathers.
Mars
already.
Volta isn't even new. They've been around
exactly.
for like freaking 15, 20 years.
There
right?
isn't a new rock band.
Yeah, like the only new bands now they're all in the clubs. They're playing live because they're not getting any airplay. Radio's dead. Radio isn't playing any of that stuff, and record companies aren't taking a chance on any of that stuff. So rock and heavy music still exists, but usually only as live acts.
That Peacemaker song became my new favorite song. I mean, I never heard it.
He was like that was all the Peacemaker music was pure 90s hair metal.
Actually, that's 2008.
And that's when they wrote that.
Yeah.
That's still a long time ago though.
Yeah. That's 14 years ago now.
Yeah, it's weird to think in the early 2000s.
There was a 2008 band which was 12 or 14 years ago doing retro hair metal from the 90s in a 2021 show.
Steel Panther.
Yes.
Steel Panther. Yeah.
Well, there's Steel Panther. Even Steel Panther's been around for a while now. They've been around for like 50,
one of my favorite YouTube videos is Steel Panther and Kelly Clarkson, and that was like right after she won American Idol.
What?
Drunk ass Kelly Clarkson going up there and wailing some Guns N' Roses with Steel Panther.
Kelly Clarkson ain't wailing shit.
I saw Steel Panther before they were Steel Panther. They used to be called the Atomic Punks, and they basically did Van Halen. So you can see it, like that guitar player is like a shredder like Eddie. The singer is like a David Lee Roth type, but they were basically, and they still wore the wigs and stuff, but they look like the Van Halen band. And so I remember seeing them. And I think David Lee Roth, when he toured like around that same time, this is probably 15 years ago or maybe 20 years ago now, he toured with that guy, that guitar player.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the guy that could do all the Eddie Van Halen licks and stuff.
Nice,
but there's Sabaton. I like Sabaton.
Oh, Sabaton's really cool, man.
A newer band. And then they've still been around a while. And then there's Ghost. Ghost is kind of like Blue Oyster Cult type.
They've been around for a long time too.
Yeah, that too. Ghost.
Sabaton's been around for 15 years.
Dude, but from all those. Yeah, from all those like Scandinavian bands, there's it's like an offshoot band from Dimmu Borgir and all those like black metal bands called Chrome Division.
Yeah,
I've heard of them.
Really good rock and roll, great rock and roll band. And I mean, like, there's another one called That Astra, and that's another like death metal guys, like those guys who painted their face white, and they start playing rock and roll, and it's really good stoner rock. So I mean, there's a lot of cool things out, but nobody knows about them.
Yeah, Mastodon's been around for a while too. Yeah. Like, it's hard to think like even like Avenged Sevenfold have been around for 20 years.
Oh god, Avenged Sevenfold's been around forever.
Because I think Metallica gave the mantle to them at some point.
Yeah, pretty much.
But even still, it's been a while, man.
Who was the band? I can't remember. The Brian Johnson did a song with them, and they were like, everyone was thinking they were going to be the next AC/DC, and they just kind of disappeared.
Airborne.
That might be it.
Airborne. Yeah, Airborne is a really good band.
Yeah.
Horrible name, though.
Yeah, the name sucked. Yeah, the name sucked, but yeah, it was good rock and roll.
Well, it's 9:00, you guys, here in Texas. Do you guys want to get into quickly into the DC losing their office?
Yeah.
Eviction? Yeah.
Well, I have a question about
Go
that
ahead.
because I'm hearing multiple different stories. One story says that they got evicted. Okay, that they just straight up like the owners of the building like straight just went, get your shit and get out. The other is that they always planned to move and that they were in the middle of getting everything ready to move, and the timetable just came faster than they expected. I have no idea which one is true, but the first one's funnier.
Yeah,
but either way, the result is the same. Either way, the result is the same. Like DC is downsizing, so either way, that's a fact. And is this good for DC? Is this what are the early warning signs that maybe DC is hurting? And if DC is hurting, then does that have ripple effects into the industry itself?
Well, the question I have is does this go hand in hand with them being sold to Discovery? And if that's the case,
it has to have happened.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into things, but I know CNN is cleaning the house, as in like the new head of CNN said, like, okay, guys, we're gonna do news, and we're like, news. What about our opinions?
That's why they're all freaking out about Rogan.
Yeah, so maybe DC is gonna get the same treatment.
There's an overall culture shift. Like, there was an attempt to like try and push everybody as far left as you could go, and then there was blowback, and that's what's going on right now.
Yeah,
like, you can see the winds shifting, and I mean it's happening in multiple places.
And the new situation for DC, it's an environment of fear. Like desks, but they don't belong to you, so whoever comes in can use the desk. It's like, dude, this is musical chairs, so be here or you're gone. I don't know.
But what do they call it? Hot something? It's
hot desks.
Hot desk. That sounds like farting on your chair.
Yeah,
I have to be honest,
little sapos, little hot sapos right there on your chair there.
I'm trying to think.
But the thing is, like, I think that that they're still trying to hide even that behind, like, oh well, since COVID, we realized that a lot of people, working from home now, and that these big offices aren't that important, blah, blah, blah. But I'll tell you from personal experience, that when DC moved from New York to the Burbank, and they're like right there in the whole thick of Warner Brothers, right? I mean, there's the movie studio, there's all those offices, there's Legendary in the same building. Like this was a direct move to try to be players in that Hollywood, action that was taking place. So when Diane Nelson, Jim Lee, and Dan DiDio and all those guys did this, they were trying to get into a position where they could get some of that Hollywood money. So when that happened, I already knew their focus was not on publishing. Their focus was not on comic books anymore. They had just given up. Like all those guys that orchestrated that, they'd all thrown their hands up in the air, and they're like, we're not going to get rich off comic books anymore. So where's the next plateau? Where do we go after this? Because these are ambitious people. These are people that want, they want money, they want all that brings, power. And so they did this. And so I have friends in Hollywood. I was going to start a production company with some friends, and they were Hollywood people. And they said, if we're going to do this and we're going to be taken serious in Hollywood, we need an office, and we need an office that looks impressive. We need an office that is going to knock Hollywood's socks off, because it's the only thing they respect. The only thing they respect is power and affluence.
Flexing.
Yeah, that's all they care about. So when DC moved to Burbank, those offices weren't just like little publishing offices, right? They weren't just like, oh, well, we're just going to get the job done. We're in the trenches, and we're just going to put out comic books like it was before. No, it was 3 floors. The lobby has a whole arcade section. There's all this neon light and this architecture and all this stuff. And then there's windows that wrap the one side, and you can see the Warner lot, from the lobby there. And then they have an archive, it's like a library where they have all these different things like Superman, Action Comics 1, and all this different stuff, from paraphernalia to comics to everything. And then all the offices are really impressive. They have an impressive bullpen, all of this stuff. So it's all posturing. It's all posturing to try to get Hollywood to go, ooh, these guys are players. We should take them seriously, right? So they played the biggest gamble of all. And I'll tell you, they failed within that 10 years' time. They failed so bad and so hard that this was inevitable. But I thought about this the other day. Their demise was always inevitable, even if those DC movies were hits. That's what I meant when they, But you're thinking like, oh, the reason why Hollywood doesn't like DC is because those movies weren't hits. But I want to throw this out there. I think DC would have got rid of Warner Brothers would have got rid of DC Comics regardless, because they want to now claim the success. So if those movies were multi-billion-dollar successes, if DC and Warner Brothers in the early, they were able to replicate Marvel's success, I guarantee you Warner Brothers would have threw them aside as soon as they didn't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Because if you guys remember, Marvel had a brain trust like that. They had, with the movies, they had Bendis, they had
Bendis, Mark Miller, all those guys were like the brain trust with Marvel.
Yeah, all the comic book people. And as soon as they didn't need them anymore, they cut them free. And the only reason they kept them is for street cred with the comic book buying, population. And I see the same thing would have happened to DC. I think Warner Brothers would have stepped in and say, the reason these movies are succeeding is because of us. It's not because of publishing. And they would have inevitably done the same thing that's happening right this very minute, because Hollywood doesn't respect the source material. They never have, and they never will. The only way they would have kept respecting DC is if somehow they had the upper hand, which they wouldn't have had down the line. Either way, they wouldn't have had. So that's my kind of insight on this whole DC Hollywood thing. I think they put their nail in their own coffin as soon as they packed up from New York to Burbank. So I want to hear what the chat and what you guys have to say.
Chat's Oliver in the from 6x6 arcades. Damn. Dude, I remember when I was in school in Florida, we actually went to the Pixar studios. And you talk about some flexing. It was really interesting because the first floor is just this massive, they've got a juice bar and a regular bar in there with everything that you could possibly want. They've got a restaurant in there that give you anything you want. They've got they had a massive game room and all that stuff like that. Pool tables. They had a pool. All this stuff. And then the next floor was a bunch of big wig offices and stuff like that. But when you got to where the work happens, it's all cubicles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The part that nobody looks at, they had big screening rooms.
Dude, and the animation industry it doesn't treat people bad, but you know who's making the money.
Yeah.
Right away. Because when I was in Vancouver, I did visit Klasky Chupo in the US. They gave us a tour. I went to I don't know if I can say this now because that guy's a pedophile, but John Crisolucci's studio in North Van. I did some cleanup for him. The thing is everybody's like, oh, you work for Ren and Stimpy. Dude, it was like a guy coming with a pickup to the Home Depot, but he went to an animation school. Who wants to do cleanup? I can do it. It was like that. So, but we all went there, and dude, you see, all Ren and Stimpy statues and pinball machines and whatnot. But when you get to the cubicles, it's slave labor.
Yeah, I remember because the school I went to Full Sail to learn 3D animation.
Yeah.
And they set the classes up and the labs up to mimic the industry. So we were there 3 o'clock in the morning, finishing rendering up on stuff like that. So we were sleeping under the desks and stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But to get back to the thing with them leaving their studios, they were 100% evicted, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure, like you said, but either way, they were asked to leave. I mean, the fact is that those offices are being shut down, and that space is going to somebody else, and that they're going to move them to another location. And like you said, it's going to be hot desks or whatever. So when you get in the morning, it's like a free for all. So you grab a desk, you plop down, and you work. And you're not able to personalize your workspace or anything like that. So every day it's going to be different. You'll work at a different, desk, if you could even get a desk, that type of thing. So that is happening from what I understand.
So that 100% has to do with the fact that the comic book division has been sold to Discovery, and Discovery, though they're though I think their parent company is pretty big. They're not Warner Brothers, so they're probably looking at this budget going like, "Hey, you guys can't stay there, even if we could." And it's just another one. I'm trying to if they did in fact get evicted. That says a lot about where they're at right now.
So where you're saying, why you're saying evicted is like they couldn't afford to pay their rent. Is that why you keep saying
either that or they were like basically told that they had to leave by their parent company?
Like the
I think they were asked to leave.
Yeah.
I think they were asked to leave. That's choice real estate. That building.
There had to be so many other executives in Warner. Is like, how the hell is DC Comics that's bringing in but nothing compared to what some of these other Warner departments, they're like, how did they? And I would imagine it was Diane Nelson who went in there like in the beginning, and once they lost her, it was just a matter of time. It's like, how slow can we bleed this out? But there had to be Warner's full of top executives, and they were all looking at that as like, how the hell did this happen? So it was just a matter of time.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Like I said, even if the films were successful or not, I think that this would have happened.
Oh yeah,
regardless. And I just think that DC Comics didn't really know who they were in bed with. Like I don't think they really understood how cutthroat Hollywood is. Like you're the flavor of the month, and unless you are the flavor of the month, then they have no use for you. And
Diane Nelson kind of like she led this whole thing. I mean, Didio was there, but Diane Nelson was above him, and I would think she was kind of the one that wanted to throw her weight around Hollywood and like make this move. And then Diane Nelson, when she got hit on the chopping block, she went to Quibi. And look what a disaster Quibi became, too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but that was like the little short, like 5 to 10 minute little video blocks. And she jumped on board. That was like an upper management on that, too. And that was a disaster train happening, too. So, like, this is kind of like an example of like entertainment executive kind of self-destructing on a number of levels and then taking down companies with her as she went. So,
well, think about this. Like she came from Harry Potter. Like she was licensed and marketing for Harry Potter. But this is the thing I always say about business. Like when your business or when you're working with something that's really, really successful, it's easy to be a success, right? When you have a lot of money coming in, you can throw money into different directions and you can absorb a loss, right? You can do things when a business is very successful. But when a business isn't doing that well, to me, that's a sign of good management. If you can keep it going and you can build from there.
Yeah.
So what Diane was doing is she clearly didn't understand comic books at all.
Not at all.
Any of it. She also said that she had never even read comic books and she wasn't really going to get into it at all. So she didn't understand comic books, publishing, the market, the fandom. She didn't understand any of these things, but she understood, or she thought she understood Hollywood. But she was coming from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
She was already way up here. So now she's representing like comic books. Like there's licensing potential. DC makes more, Warner Brothers makes more with the licensing of the DC characters than they do the comic books. But she didn't understand the comic books. So she's playing hardball with Hollywood, with a property, with properties, the DC universe that was not worthy of the fight. You know what I mean? Like
she thought she had an M16 and she had a friggin'
she had a knife.
And this is where Marvel's movie universe is kind of smart with Kevin Feige. He understands this. He picks directors that did something from nothing. And that's where you get the talent from. It's like, this is a property nobody heard of and they made it into something, and it was a moderate success let's take this guy because they've proved that they can take nothing and turn it into something.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. It's like Marvel, the cinematic universe pulled itself up by its own bootstraps. It created that. They didn't go to Disney at first. They didn't do that. They built something and then had a success and then sold it over, right? But they had the cards. They had something to negotiate with. They were successful. You know what I mean? Diane Nelson didn't. She just had the comic books. And Hollywood doesn't. They don't respect that stuff anyways, and they probably never will. So,
Todd, what were you going to say, Todd?
When I got wind of I got wind of something just in the last 2 weeks about DC that somebody had told me. I don't want to mention a person's name, but they're going to become like two different companies.
Mm-hmm.
DC will keep its core books going regardless. So you got Batman and Detective, and they're gonna keep them going regardless of sales, and then a bunch of editors are gonna be put on what they call project books. Bring them the project. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to fit into continuity. It doesn't have to jive with what's going on. It's going to be like Steel. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this book.
Yeah.
It's like Out of Time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to project-based things. So you got a bunch of editors going to be working on these projects. And that could be a writer and an artist. They bring in this idea and they go, okay, we'll do it. And just see how it goes. But you only can go so far. So don't think you're going to do a long book. It's going to be 6 to 12 issues and no more than 12. And so that's 90%, like it's gonna be like 50-50. The core books stay alive no matter what, and that's very small amount.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's like I would say the bottom would be like Robin, and the top would be like Batman. So you're
talking
not
maybe
going past. You're not gonna have a Batgirl. You're not gonna have a Batwoman.
Yeah.
It's gonna be very limited. And then they're gonna okay a lot of projects. So if you got a good pitch idea and you got an artist and you can put a team together, they may okay your project.
But they're only going
to kind of do like what they're going to do event books. They're going to do like like mini series or like the European model where they'll do like a graphic novel or something that's more limited versus monthly floppies, right? Is that
Which is one of the things that we talked about. Remember when we talked about what they could do in the future? And like Todd, me and you especially were talking about how like that's one of the models that they could move to was to do like instead of having long ongoing titles, you just do the little mini series,
right?
And then
it's basically what's proven that it could work is what's his name has done well, Sean Gordon Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
So you let these guys control what they're doing. They pitch the project. You give them an editor to oversee the whole project, but they're on their own, basically.
And the editor can work from anywhere. They can work from their house. They can work from the hot desk, or they can work anywhere. I also think like the thing that's makes me sad about this is because the retail stores were mainly they were basing their bread and butter on monthlies, on the weekly every Wednesday, getting new people in because that's when the new books came in. If that shifts over, then I think the retailers are probably going to suffer or pay the highest price, at least short term, because I think that from a corporate model, what Todd says makes probably the most sense, because you can bring the sales up on each one of these books if you maybe only have 12 titles that come out per month or something like that versus 100 titles, so then everybody that loves comics is probably going to buy those books because they're going to be like events, like they're not going to be able to get any other books, and they'll probably be able to put their best people on those books.
That's the other
because
thing.
Why would they hire a Tumblr artist when at that point they're going to be able to get the cream of the crop probably for next to nothing, and they'll be happy to work.
And they don't have to hire them for a long contract. It's like you're here for this for this project
or 12 issues or whatever.
1 through 5, for 12, and then you're done.
Like story and talent wise, it would be the best thing that DC could do right now.
Yeah, What you just said, Todd. Like, it's basically Substack. It's like almost like a Substack model.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah, and I think it could work for them because, to be honest, their corporate overlords just want the licensing anyway.
Yeah.
DC Comics. When I first started working at DC Comics, I remember editors would tell me DC Comics is just a write-off for Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, they don't care. They make money by losing money with DC Comics, you know, and so it wasn't really an issue until one, they killed off Robin. You know, that I think that was the big one, because then the corporate overlords actually were like, what the hell are you doing? We have licensing with Robin. If there's no Robin, then what are we going to do with all these underoos or whatever, you know, Robin stuff? And so that was the first blip. And then the second was the death of Superman, because then all of a sudden Warner Brothers had to look at DC Comics in a different light, because this was the best-selling comic of all time. You know what I mean? So now what do? They can't look at the comics industry or their publishing division the same way. So now all of a sudden they're like, these books can sell millions of copies. So then the expectations change. So I think that it's just a pressure cooker of all these things. Like Warner Brothers would probably, and their corporate overlords would feel better if these books were selling like Death of Superman numbers. But since they're not, you know, they're just going to keep them around as an IP farm. That's it, you know.
One thing I think they're hoping that'll come out of this is a gem or two every year that they can turn into an animated movie or movie.
Yeah, I'll White Knight.
When you let people experiment and do something. Now, I thought borders would keep them from doing this. Like, you can't do this to this character, you can't do that to that character. But as you saw, they raped Superman in not Human Target. What was it? Human Target? You know, there's no borders anymore. Go ahead and do it. We can always undo it.
Yeah,
and I really didn't think they would go this route.
Yeah, but especially if they're going to do it like an Elseworlds kind of thing, like you were saying.
Yeah, they can pin anything you want on it, and then just allow the team to see how it goes. Hey, 12 issues, okay. We'll ink that deal for 12 issues.
Yeah, well, let me just ask this question to the Pontificators here, and people in chat too, chime in. Does this look like the floppies are
dying?
They're gone. They're dead. They're dead.
I don't think that means they're dead. I think it means that they're going to become a special. They're basically they're become a novelty.
Well, if Warner Brothers and DC is going to do what Todd said, the floppies are gone.
But it's like the Steelbook is still a floppy, right? It's a 12-issue maxi series, and it's set in medieval times, and Batman is sort of Superman, and Superman is sort of Batman, as far as good and evil go.
Yeah, but is this going to be enough product to sustain a retail store like a comic book?
Do you think they ever really cared? Do you think when's the last time you feel like they really
but
care
if they're putting if they're still putting the eggs in the floppy basket, then they still need a retail outlet to sell those books. So,
well, the hope there would be like what you had said earlier, is if they cut back on the number of books they put out, then it means the best talent is working on those books, and the sale of those books rises. You would hope. It doesn't necessarily mean it'll happen.
Yeah, because there's so many people looking at other things like self-publishing, Substack, things like that. They don't have to go through them to do that.
Yeah, but if you think about
I would not want to be a comic book retailer.
No, they're the ones that they've always paid the price. But if you think about it, like if DC only puts out 12 titles a month instead of 100 or whatever they were doing, well, their piece of the market goes down. So the reason why DC and Marvel started publishing so many titles is so that they could get a bigger piece of the pie every month. So if DC's selling less, then Marvel is going to destroy them, because Marvel just start publishing more.
Actually, DC has the biggest portion of the pie right now, as far as sales go. It may not be books. It may not be titles.
Number of books, but the number of money.
Sales, their sales are like 15% higher.
Per book sales. But that's all.
No, overall sales per month are higher than any other company.
Well, are they publishing more than Marvel at this point, or are they publishing the same?
I would say no. I would say they don't have the same number of titles as Marvel.
Yeah.
But they're
I heard that DC
better.
doesn't even have a book in the top 10 right now.
Here's an interesting question, though.
Let me.
We've always talked about. We've always talked about that. Well, yeah, Batman's always going to be close to in the top 10 somewhere.
This is why none of these publishers want the actual sales numbers out there right now. I remember when you could look on ICV2 and find out sales numbers at least approximate. It's like now you can't find anything.
Well, the question I have is that we've always said that we feel like this flood to shelves marketing is killing the industry. So if they pull back,
I think that's
to only like 10 to 15 titles a month, like ongoing titles a month, and everything else is just mini series or one shots or special things. That now you can actually afford to get some of that top tier talent, because you have fewer books. And hopefully they will bring in more sales to build those titles back up.
I don't think it will happen that way. I don't think it will happen that way. I think the competition will sweep up and put out more product, especially if DC's only putting out 10 books or whatever it is a month. There's all that talent that was at DC that now needs work. So I could see Marvel just hiring all those guys, creating a bunch of new titles, and just flooding the frickin' market.
Marvel.
There's one other problem though.
Why can't they?
Neither of them.
Marvel won't pay anything for a page rate right now.
But the thing is, if they're not getting any work, if those artists aren't getting any work, Clint, then Marvel can sweep in and pay them pennies.
There are a lot. Marvel is looking for. There's a lot of artists that are out of work right now. A lot of them. I could name you 20 guys. You go, no way, he's not out of work. He's out of work, right? So it's really hard. There's plenty for both of them. What will really be the judge of it all is how far are you willing to let someone explore something and go? How far are you willing to let them take it? When they let this Murphyverse is so different than anything else that anyone's ever done. He basically has rewritten who those core characters are,
right?
And it's been successful. It is actually their most successful books, right? Over the last year, the White Knight stuff is more successful than anything else. It's not just because of his art; it's because it's a unique idea and a fresh take. So now they're thinking, well, maybe we'll get some more of this. But your editors have to be good. They can't just let Tom Taylor write everything and Scott Snyder write everything. You gotta mine some nuggets from the earth and not just the surface.
I still see like if everybody in the industry all decided to scale down and only if Marvel and DC were just like we're gonna publish 10 books and they're gonna be the best books that we can possibly do every month, right? Then I can see the competition being fair. But I really do see if DC published less, I almost guarantee you Marvel would take that as weakness and they would swoop in and they would flood the market and they would just decimate DC. And also they would probably be heralded as saviors to the retail stores.
Oh, sure.
Because they would be given the retail stores more product to sell, which is what they want. So I don't know, man. I still don't see that as the be all end all.
I don't think it's really coming down to that. I think it's really coming down to the writing is on the wall. Good things sell, bad things don't.
Bad things don't.
Look, Savage Dragon doesn't sell more than 3,000 books, and it's still in print. Okay.
Yeah, but if you had 10 or 20,
that's the same mentality.
It's the only reason it's in print is because Eric Larson is basically paying for it himself.
I get it.
It's vanity.
But that's what Marvel's doing with other Excalibur and this.
Oh yeah, right. It's the same principle.
It's competition though. It's like Marvel Marvel, you're talking about like if it was a perfect world and everybody played by the same rules. But what I'm saying is I know Marvel well enough. And even if they were going to flood, they would flood the market, even if it was shit. They would
flood the market and lose money.
Okay, that sells to the store. Yeah. That sells to the stores what they're realizing. Yeah, the store buys our shit, but they get stuck with our shit and they're done. They're done. The stores are done. We don't want
You're talking about pie in the sky idealism, and I agree with you. I think that probably it's the best way to go, but I think that other companies would have to adopt this same idea. Otherwise, I do see DC as being weak in the marketplace and getting their asses handed.
I can see what you mean by that. Basically, Marvel wouldn't care whether they made money or not, as long as it basically flood the shelves, flood the market,
and not just Marvel.
and just crushed and just did it until DC couldn't operate anymore.
And not just Marvel, but there's Image, there's Dark Horse, there's all these other publishing companies that could fill that void.
If you say to somebody like Mark Miller, say, come back to DC, do whatever you want, how many ever books you want, grab the guys you can get who are awful books. That's the kind of thing that will work. So he's writing JLA
Mark
type
Miller
books.
would never come back.
Why wouldn't he?
Not unless Netflix stopped giving him money for movies.
Yeah.
His stuff isn't working very well over there.
It isn't. And
that
would be the only way. But he's got other properties in there in development.
Yeah. But that's just
be
one example,
years, if not a decade, before we see them all.
But I'm just using an example of this Murphyverse type of thing. They're willing to try now, and not give you because
that's an outlier. That's an outlier.
What they used to do is say you cannot do this with this character this month because we need this to happen. So you're like, why can't you that story?
If they put it in like an Elseworlds thing,
until somebody else gets that kind of a deal and shows that they can do those kind of sales, Sean Murphy is like a one-off.
I think that's what Todd's saying, though, is that they're going to try to see if they can find another Sean Gordon Murphy.
They can do that now. They don't have to make radical changes. If those artists exist and those writers exist, pay them some fucking money and start putting out those books. There's no reason they can't do it now. They don't have to.
They got Jorge Jimenez
back or anything.
They just put Jorge Jimenez on Batman. I mean, Jorge Jimenez he's the next biggest thing compared to
I think there's so much broken. I think this industry has let things get to this point.
Oh yeah.
I don't think it's a simple fix. I think everything is even the micro parts of the industry are broken, right? I don't even know where you would really begin to start doing this. Any publishing, anytime in the comics history, there's always been good books and bad books, right? There's always been books that do really well, but maybe that's like not like 2% of their publishing line, and then the rest is.
Well, I think what they're thinking here, is that if they do these special project books like that, if they only have like I said, this many ongoing monthlies, like your main core books, and then everything else are these special project books, a la White Knight. They're instead of like having this long period of time, you've only got this small thing, so that you lose. So there's a lot of overhead that you're getting rid of. You know what I mean? You don't have to keep these guys on. If the project comes out and it doesn't sell well, they're gone.
It's always been that though, like the industry. That's why Marvel. I remember talking to Bob Harris years ago, and he said, DC's got that uptown address. That's very expensive. He said Marvel will always stay in Publishers Row. We will always stay in the scuzzier parts of town. The rent's cheap, but it keeps us hungry. So Marvel never put money into the offices. Like I remember last time I was there, the carpeting didn't even go all the way to the walls. When they built the different offices, they didn't build the walls all the way to the ceiling so they could use the already existing air conditioning and heating ducts that they didn't have to move them. Like they were so penny pinching. It was creepy. Like that place was really creepy. And the thing is, they stayed lean and they stayed mean, and that's why it kept them hungry, and it always forced them to show a profit. So the thing is, I don't see. I think it comes back to what we've said on Pontificators, Todd, since almost the very beginning, is that there's two components that are missing and that have been neglected for decades. One is going after new audience. These books are not aimed at kids. They're not made to grab children. We've said it here. Spider-Man appeals to kids. The name Spider-Man, Batman, these are not like adults aren't like, hey, what is this Spider-Man all about? You know, these are things that would entice a kid. You know what I mean? And then they can keep reading as they go into adulthood. But that's the thing. So that's gone. That dynamic has been gone for decades. So they've been selling the books to the same clientele for the last 30 years. You know what I mean? And now they're like, oh, well, they're aging out or they're dying off. You know what I mean? But they're not really bringing new people in. So that's one. Also, you cannot find these books in any kind of mainstream retail outlets. Everything is for sale in a specialty shop, a comic shop, whatever. Most of these things, no offense, if anybody from comic shops listening, most of them are kind of not on the up and up. It's not a place you want your kid to hang out in. So, they put all their eggs in the retailer, the specialty shops. They got rid of, the mainstream outlets where you could buy comics, which when we've done a poll here on Pontificators, everybody in the chat all got their comics through some kind of 7-Eleven or some kind of, mainstream outlet. Everybody in the chat agreed. But where are those kids now? Where are they getting their books?
A lot of them aren't getting them, period. They just
DC ended the Walmart thing, right? The 100-page giants or whatever.
Yeah, and obviously, you know what? That experiment and the Allegiance Arts experiment, they didn't work, right? Mm-hmm. Those are good-looking books for whatever price point they were and how they were not put in the right place in the store. They were good-looking books. They didn't work. So that's obviously not an option. People won't go to Walmart to get their comics.
It is an option. It just wasn't like the Allegiance Arts. That wasn't really aimed at kids. But the thing is, you cannot just drop a product in the middle of a store and expect it to sell.
It's got to be marketed.
Even Coca-Cola, they don't have to market. They would if they stop marketing tomorrow, they could probably coast for the next 10 years. Just on not advertising at all. People know the product, right? So the thing is, you have to get out in front of people, like what we're doing right now. What CG does. You have to get out and you have to sell the product. I know some of these guys at DC and Marvel that their jobs, their actual official titles were like sales or distribution, these things. These guys were just collecting paychecks. They would run an ad in Diamond. They would go to these retail summits. They might take a meeting with some of the higher end retail stores. That's it. That's all they did.
Hey, Art, can I ask you, who was John Nee? He was like a big time.
John Nee.
Yeah, he was Wildstorm, yeah. Okay. He was like editor-in-chief for a while at Wildstorm. And then I think he did work for a brief period of time at DC.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he was even over at Marvel for a little bit, too.
He might have been, yeah.
Okay, just curious.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go down that road.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't know if them because and let's be clear. The only it's the comic division that was evicted. It wasn't the film. It wasn't the DC's film division or anything like that. Mm-hmm. They're still there. The top 3 floors that belong to the comic book division, that's who got out.
Right.
So and that shows you, like you were saying, Art, where it's basically they're looking at them like as 2 separate entities.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they only want the IPs. in the end. Like they wouldn't care less about publishing.
I don't know. I mean,
that's what they've always used them for anyway. Yeah. Like as long as I've been in this industry, that's all DC Comics has been. So nothing's really changed other than there was a boom. There was a death of Superman. There was some big success in the 90s that kind of made people think like, oh, comics can sell. But that was a moment in time. There was a lot of like catching lightning in a bottle. Like some people ask me like, could this ever happen again? Could Image ever happen again? And I'm like,
I don't think so.
No.
You would have to get like the top 7 guys in the industry all to agree and to promote the hell out of things. But
and even more than that, the collectors, the speculators. It would have to be the top 7 guys, and then also the speculators coming in with money, thinking that they're gonna turn a profit. It was like baseball cards too. Like the 90s there was a huge speculator boom in collecting. Between comics, between sports cards, and the other thing, people were willing to put money into it because it was almost like a story you would read on MSN, like, oh, so and so, the McGuire baseballs or stuff like that was a big thing in the 90s. It was like that quick turnaround, hitting the lottery ticket. It all played into collecting and comics and sports cards.
One thing killed them all. Every single thing you mentioned, sports cards, anything gluttony and greed, yes. Killed them all. The Barry Bonds card was printed like money, and it was used like money. We'll give you 400, and you were like, for $10,000, we'll give you 400 cards. And they were just overprinting a card that had value, and no one even realized it.
I used to say that to people, like when we had those lines, and they'd be bringing up the black and white, and it would be in the plastic, and you could tell it was never open. I go, "Have you read the book?" It's like, no, I don't. It's a collectible. It's whatever. And I would just go,
it's a comic book.
Read it. We busted our hump to try to create a good story for you. Read it. Do yourself a favor. Wear your gloves, whatever, but read it. And then, I would be thinking to myself, like, there are criteria for collectibles. There's like rarity. There's like a demand and condition. Well, rarity, everybody has one. Demand, everybody has one. Condition, they're all in plastic bags. So the 3 criterias are gone. Like any book that people were buying during the 90s, they were never going to be worth anything.
Big money.
Because those criteria, they weren't even there. You know what I mean? Everybody had a copy. They were all in great shape, and everybody had one, so nobody needed one. And so that really led to it. But I want to back up, like with the question where people ask me is like, oh, could Image ever happen again? The answer also is no, because you'd have to get 7 people at the top of their game. But also what you were saying, Clint, is that the industry was going gangbusters. So not only did the top guys leave at that moment, but their books were already selling millions of copies.
Making bank.
At Marvel. So it's different. So to catch that lightning again, that same scenario would have to exist. I will say, though, that right now, CG is the closest thing to anything like that exists in this industry.
You can't even name 7 top guys between Marvel and DC right now.
No. 7 top domestic guys. No.
CG.
That was funny, Todd.
I missed it.
Yeah.
He said domestic guys.
Oh.
Domestic guys.
But I
sorry, Pedro.
Go ahead. But I think I think it's about time to wrap this up, man. It's we could sit here and just go down this rabbit hole forever.
Pedro beat you to the
yeah. Oh yeah. I saw him do the.
Yeah. No, it's like the only domestic guy. So yeah, dude, I'm a tropical fruit over here. So I guess I'm out.
Don't you live here? Where do you live? Where do you live, Pedro?
I live in Panama.
Panama.
Awesome. That's awesome.
You got invaded.
Yeah.
He's in the rainforest, Todd.
Yeah.
He's got like a big like waterfall in his
He's got a
satellite.
machete. He goes outside and gets
Actually,
coconut.
A big satellite dish to talk to us.
I'm surrounded by 9 waterfalls, guys.
Jeez.
I have to do
Steamy.
a little like film tour. Yeah.
So clean
You guys
water
can
is
check
never
that
an
out.
issue for you.
No, not at all.
Cool.
You got better than me.
Consistent power. That's
The only thing I'm surrounded by 9 of is 9 feet of snow.
oh Jesus. Still
And it's
water.
not pure.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, you could hook a generator or something up to that waterfall, and it could turn the water for you. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
Turbine. All right,
Yeah,
you guys.
Oliver.
Well, hey, man, I want to thank all my Pontificator brethren. Joe Suntag had to bail early, so it was good hanging out with him for the first hour. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out with us. I think this was a good topic that we eventually got around to.
Yeah. All good, man.
But we had a lot of fun. So it's good to have you back, Todd.
Yes, welcome back, Todd.
Welcome back, Todd.
And we'll see you
Thank you.
next week, next Wednesday, for another Pontificators. And tomorrow night, we are going to have we're going to spill some ink on the professional show. It's going to be on my channel tomorrow night at Eastern Standard Time, and I will be hosting. And the subject is going to be based kind of what Graham did a few weeks ago, where he just did this like let's give thanks, like let's give thanks for just in a general way for things that we're thankful for, that kind of thing. And so what I want to do is kind of take that idea, but every one of us, even people right now in the chat, not in the chat, but on the panel here, there's people that helped us get where we're at. There's like a series of people that some people might not even know, But what I want to do tomorrow is I want to shine the light on those people, like who behind the scenes kind of helped Aaron
Unsung heroes
to his
good idea.
So on and so forth. What would be interesting is, since we all kind of cross over in strange ways, if there's like similar people that like maybe helped Aaron, that helped Graham, or Billy, or whatever it is. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. So that's going to start at 8 tomorrow, 8 Eastern, and it's going to be on my channel. So that is Professionals, and we're going to spill some ink. So come by, say hi, hang out with us. Good time guaranteed. So thanks again, you guys. You guys are the best. We'll see you next week.